Terran 1 launch. All right, we'll switch over to Science Tech. So once again, we got the world's first 3D printed rocket making an orbital attempt in about an hour and 15 minutes. So, yeah, plenty more stream left. And, yeah, we'll insert Pookie to select your floop. You got to select your floop, obviously. I don't know why that's putting me in a good mood. It's pretty funny. You got to select your floop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys want to see something cool here? All right. Hold on. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. Now we're in the garage for a second. That's nice. Hey, Iggy. 77 months. Truck. Yep. Is there a floop in that frame? No. No Pookie needs to be inserted for flooping. Insert Pookie to select your floop. Okay. This is not going to work. All right, let's just... There we go. Okay. What have you done to Freb? Been working on the rear end, guys. I've been working on that off stream. Yeah. So the leaves are, the bushings are completely thrashed, and the leaves aren't doing well either. They're a little rusty up in there. That's not good. You don't want that. So I know you will love this. Okay.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
The real-time Apollo footage. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Hey, gifted us up to Erudite. Is that a 65? No, Spoopy. This is a 59. It's a 59 F100. I'm working on the rear end, and I'm trying to just clean up all the rust on here. And I have bushings for the rear wheels, and I was trying to work on the bushings, and yeah, here, I'll show you. So I managed to get one of the shackles. I managed to get the shackle off on the driver's side. Here. I managed to get the shackle off on the driver's side, and so look at that. Let me block the light out. That's rusted in. The bushing is not coming out. I know because I hit it with a press and it broke the shackle. That bushing is gone. So I got new bushings to press these ones out. It's not happening. It's toast. So, yeah, I tried pushing this one out, and all we did was end up pushing out the center race, right? And yeah, it's shot. Totally broken. The audio delay is oof. Should be better now. So, yeah, the bushing's totally shot. Like, here, I'll show you. This camera doesn't work. Yeah, that camera doesn't work. Lovely. So, yeah, this thing is, and so it turns out that all the bushings are like that. They are completely rusted. Once again, that freaking light is not helping. It's completely rusted in. It's not coming out. That a 12-ton press pushed this out. It's toast. These, like, once again, this shackle is broken. It was like that and it came off, and yeah, see, it's very, very bent. That's very broken. So, yeah, I just went ahead and said, frick it, I'm buying new leaf springs. So that's what I did. The leaves are rusty as hell. I noticed it. And it's probably better that I noticed it because there is tons of rust in between in here. It's bad. Like, it's rotted. It's pitted to hell in there. So, yeah, the bushing is shot. The shackle's toast. And, dude, all of the bushings are like that. All of them are completely rusted in there. Like, even if I somehow get that out, I don't even think a new one would be good. Like, I'm not pressing these out. You'd have to heat this thing for days. It's completely rusted in there on all of them, on all four corners. So screw that. I bought new leaves and I bought new shackles. But there is another problem that I'm facing here. I'll show you. Here, let me turn on the other camera. There we go. So there is another problem that I got here, and yeah, I'll zoom in on it so you guys can see it better. It's not a big deal. So the shackle, right? See the shackle? You tell me what's wrong with this picture. Yeah, you tell me what's wrong. Oh, Atlanta, the bushing is there. Part of it. It's in there. If you notice, it's moving with the bolt, which is moving with the shackle. So the inner race of the bushing is rusted to the bolt. So I know what people are going to say. Oh, dude, just take a wrench and just move the shackle. You should be able to move it, right? Right? That'll work. Well, nope. That's not doing diddly squat like the farm. All that's doing is turning the inner race. It's turning the inner race in there. So, yep. Got to get the grinder. Can't be tight if it's a liquid. Yeah, yeah, I have my torch, but yeah, gonna have to drill it out, drill the damn thing out, or just grind it off. This is junk. The shackle perch is still okay though. The leaf spring perch is fine. But yeah, here, like, look, I mean, look at the bush on the leaf spring. And just look at that leaf spring in general. See that? That's no good. This all in here, bad. Bad. That's junk. It's too rusty. That will snap. Like if you're driving down the highway, that's going to snap. Here, I'll show you. Look at it with the light. See, it's all pitted. There's all kinds of crap in there. See, I could probably fix it, but hell, if I'm going to push the damn bushings out, dude, I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that. Yeah, so that's junk. Drop a pallet of anything in the bed. Yeah, Nito, that's right. Considering it's a 59, right? It's pretty damn good, but it's time to fix it. It's time to fix it. I have this all out here. I'm going to when we get the leaves, I'll take them all off. I got new shackles, I got new leaves, I got new bushings. The bushings are already here, but yeah, considering how old it is, it's not bad, but this leaf spring's all pitted and everything. Screw it. Just screw it. I parts can into the thing. You're going to make a forge and make a cool knife out of the old ones, right? Yeah. Rusty Shackleford. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. So, yeah, the 9-inch is good, though. We got good backlash on the gear. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Perfect. It's got really good backlash. The 9-inch is in really good condition. So what I think we'll do, and I might stream it, I might not, I don't know. What I think I'll do is we're going to pull the leaves. The U-bolts probably should be replaced too. Those are pretty junk. Then I'll drop the 9-inch. We'll pull the 9-inch is this solid piece. For people don't know, it's this big solid axle in the back. I'll just, get all the scale off of it, paint it, new brake lines. I got to figure out the e-brake, and then we'll paint it, put it all back together, and then before I put the leaves and everything back on and hang them, I'll just get the wire wheel and smooth all this out and paint it so it lasts another 60 years. Yeah, now that I'm looking at them, the U-bolts are kind of crap too. So I can go get U-bolts at O'Reilly's and stuff, dude. They're pretty pitted. They're not in the best condition. Yeah, this is all not really in the best of shape. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. I've been doing this in my spare time between streams. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but it's okay. So yeah, we gotta undo the e-brakes. So you gotta take the drum off and just take the adjuster out. That's easy. That's no problem. You can pull that thing right out. The e-brake cable is seized somewhere, so I got to figure out where that's seized. I don't think it's seized anywhere over here. I think the mechanism up underneath the truck is seized. And then I need a new brake hose. The brake hose going to the rear end is cracked to hell. We're going to need a new one. You hate drums? What's wrong with drums? Drum brakes are fine, dude. There's nothing wrong with drum brakes. But yeah, I got roll bar, VHC roll bar paint. I got like a bunch of cans of it over there. What I've been doing is, guys, like I've like off stream, I've been undoing or unloading all the extra boxes that I have of stuff, and I've been kind of inventorying what I have. I have tons of paint. I got tons of paint. We got coolant. I got gear oil. All kinds of room temperature vulcanization. I found my Permatex gasket sealers. Like, dude, check this out. I found Permatex still in the package. I got fuel pumps. I got all kinds of stuff, man. Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Drums make loud banging noises when you use them. Yeah, Electron. On the bushings and the bolts and stuff, I will anti-seize the frick out of that. What do you need to do for bushings, guys? Don't you need to grease the bushing before you push it in? You got to do that, right? You got to grease. You put grease on the bushing so it doesn't seize, right? Yeah. Is it grease, axle grease? What am I doing? Dielectric grease? I don't know. I have anti-seize. It's my anti-seize is over here somewhere. There's all oil. Oil is in there. Where's my anti-seize? Ah, here it is. Yeah, I found it. Permatex anti-seize lubricant. I'll put that on my toolbox right there. There we go. Right next to the floop. Yeah. Insert poo key to get your floop. You got to get your floop. You know, the floop. Yeah, synthetic. Yeah. Is that a BMX bike? Yeah, it's my BMX bike from when I was a kid, consort. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I got it from my parents' house. It's a Haro Shredder. I almost said it wrong. Haro Shredder, circa like, I don't know, 2004, 2003. We'll take this thing apart and clean it up on stream sometime. It's a nice bike. Ow, that probably was great for your ears. Insert poo key to protect your floop. BMX stream? No. It's not an original Ford color, Fishy. No. This thing was beige. Beige when it came from the factory. It was painted in the late 80s. This is a single stage paint job. So it's not, you go to buff this out and you're not buffing the clear coat. Your rag turns red. What locomotive poster is that on the back wall? You guys are peeping everything in my garage, huh? Nah, that's why it's there. Modern locomotives, dude. Modern locomotives. So I tell you guys, like, I had a picture up of the TGV on my wall when I was a kid. Well, here, this is a picture. There's all kinds of locomotives on here. I've had this thing is, okay, you wanna know how old this is? So it says modern locomotives right there. There's an F40PH on it, and a DD40AX, and the GTEL, and the SNC FTGV, and an Intercity 125. These are not modern locomotives at all. That's how long I've had this poster. Yeah. There's an FL9 on here. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on there that is not modern, not modern locomotives. No, not by any means. Would you say it's a training poster? Oh God. You have garage envy? Yeah, Mel, I bought the garage for streaming. Yeah. It's a 30 by 40 by 20 garage. I got a 20-foot ceiling. It's nice, man. I worked hard for this. Worked hard for this garage. That's a lot of streaming, man. A lot of streaming. But yeah, this is what I do. It's what I've been doing in my spare time. Fit a rocket in here? Nah, not tall enough. Not tall enough, dudes. But yeah, I wired this entire truck up on stream in my parents' garage. I had a streaming rig in there, and yeah, I wired up the whole damn thing. Yeah, even you can see some of the wiring that we did. I got to, that's not Tessa taped. It's just wires inside of a sheath, so we gotta, want to do it right, we gotta, you know. Hey, Spooby. Welcome to Mission Control. You go with throttle up. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I have to fix this. That shouldn't be doing that. I'm gonna get the grinder out and just, yeah, I'll just cut off the bolt, the head of the bolt, and then zip the grinding wheel right in here, and then just pull the thing out. As you can see from the stain on the floor, that thing has caused me a lot of trouble. I heated it and cooled it and heated it and cooled it and heated it and cooled it. Those shackles are supposed to point down. What? Does the engine run? Yeah, of course. Make it liquid. Yeah, I don't have an acetylene torch, dude. I don't know if I can get my propane torch hot enough. Your garage is huge. Yeah, it's big, man. Ooh. It's a big garage. Yeah. It's nice, man. I like it. A lot of room to work on the truck. Like, yeah, it's good, dude. Got to get a limited slip for this 9-inch, dudes. Yeah, got to get a limited slip. It's not posi. I don't even know. What does Ford call it? What does Ford call it? Like Sure Grip or True Track or whatever the hell it's called? I don't care. It's posi traction. And I'm saying that as a Ford guy. It's posi. It's called posi traction, okay? Track lock. Yeah, there you go. It had a 292 in it, dude. Yeah. The previous owner was my uncle. He put a 302 in it. So it's got a 302 and a C4. So 3-speed auto. It's got a 9-inch rear end, 370 gears, not posi. It's nothing really special right now, but yeah. I've been working on it off and on, guys. Really putting in a lot of work. I mean, as you can tell, the bed is off. I mean, I did that on stream a little while back, but I got a new bed kit for it. I got an oak kit. Kit's over there. We're going to get new shackles for this thing. I'm going to get new U-bolts. Screw it. Why not? You know, I'll paint up the rear end. We'll get new brake lines for it. I need a new brake hose. And yeah, we got to clean up this frame, paint that up, make sure it doesn't look like dookie, and then put it all back together. And then we're done back here. What are your exhaust plans? I have an exhaust kit. It's on the other side of the truck. I have everything for the exhaust. It's here already. Here. I got Flow Monsters. Blah 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 blah. Hey Crossrace. 50-month resub. You missed the joke. You need a pellet grill or something out there. Yeah. Pop, I'm still kind of salty about Kerbal, man, so man, did that game piss me off. So the joke flew over my head. I'm usually sharper than that, dude. I swear. I swear. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's, we're just waiting on the Terran 1. I should bag the rear end. It's not that type of truck, dude. Not yet, at least. Yeah, we'll just clean this all up. Maybe I'll do it on stream. I don't know. I get a lot more work done off stream working on the truck, that's for sure. But I did the pinion seal. Pinion seal's all good on the rear end. It's not leaking, at least I don't think it is. There are drops underneath it, but the drops that are underneath it are from me spraying it down with degreaser. So, yeah. Got to get that rear end off. You know, we'll lift it up with the crane, put it on a table or something, and just grind it down, paint it, make it look nice. Time is the launch. About 48 minutes out. I'm letting you guys suffer, but I'm waiting at least 6 months before I touch KSP2. That's okay. Does the back window open? No, it doesn't. It does not. Nope. Yeah, that was before this. This truck comes from an era where that's not a thing. Yeah. The gas tank is right here too, by the way. You're sitting on it. Well, leaning on it, I should say. Yeah, good stuff. I could try to undo the U-bolts right now if we want, but then again, I don't want to get my hands dirty and then go... I want to get my hands dirty and then go back into the office, right? And dirty up that freaking keyboard. I don't have running water out here. Not yet, at least. But yeah, so John, with the exhaust, I want true dual all the way back. The mufflers will probably be like right here. And then, you know, obviously like the up and over special and then out the back. Nothing too crazy. Or we could go the crazy hot rod route and have the exhaust turn right here in front of the rear wheels. So if you do a burnout, right? If you do a burnout, smoke shoots out the sides, which would be kind of cool. But then again, you're only going to do a one-wheel peel with this thing because not posi. But yeah, I love this truck. I love this truck. Once we're done with this, I'll bring the 97 back in here, finish what we need to finish with that thing, and then the Coronet, and we'll, yeah, have some fun, dude. I want to drive this thing, man. I haven't driven it in a decade. Do a stack exhaust? Nah. X-pipe? Also, you would never do a burnout. What? So I'm just going to go ahead and say no twice there, Hellfish. No, I'm not doing an X-pipe because I'm making the exhaust myself. And if you think I won't do a burnout, you are sorely mistaken. Yeah, there you go, Chris. Yeah, Spooby, I think in front of the tires would be cool. So just dump it like right here. Just right out the sides. I don't know if state inspection in Massachusetts will allow that, but whatever. You gonna keep it this red? Yeah, Mel, for now. For now. Yeah, I basically built this truck from a shell. I had it down to basically the cab on the frame over the course of the last decade, so yeah, it's literally been built, it's built from nothing. Like, thanks, Mark, I appreciate it, man. Sorry, chat's a little far away. Baby, yeah, thanks, dude, I appreciate it. Usually Stay-Laws are good with it as long as the exhaust exit behind the passenger cabin. Yeah. We'll have it go out into the side. Yeah, they tried to give me crap with the 97 because the 97 terminates right here. So I just put an extension pipe on it. But the 97's exhaust looks so goofy right now. Straight out the back would be cool too. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind going up over doing the up and over and back. But I think that the straight out the sides is probably going to be easier for me to make. I have a kit. I have an exhaust kit here. It's full of a bunch of mandrel bent pipes. So like I have, you know, the U sections and stuff, and then I have a hacksaw, and we can cut these to how we see fit. But yeah, I could cut this right down the side, right, and then just, you know, have it turn and go out, you know, next to the wheel or whatever. There's a bunch of good stuff in here. But, you know, we got 90-degree bends and stuff. We got straight pipes. We got curved pipes. Got these long straight pieces, so yeah, we'll do all that, and then we had to get the right header collectors and stuff, right? But yeah, we'll redo all that. The exhaust, that's part of the reason why I took the bed off, because it's going to be easier with the bed off to do the rest of the exhaust. Did you see Haas might be in trouble? Yeah, I could have told you that. 14 minutes until Relativity goes live. Thank you. How high up do you think you get the exhaust? Think you could get it right up on the frame? I guess. You're so Gil. I don't understand almost any English, but all of the live stream I could find of yours is certainly most interesting. Congratulations and good luck. Thanks, man. Voon, Pingman. You see Haas might be in trouble for violating trade sanctions with Russia. No, I didn't hear anything about that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm good. I'm good on that, man. Yeah, no. Hard pass. I heard some F1 talk. It's good to see Alonso in a competitive car. The McHonda years were rough. I don't know about you, Voon, but the first two F1 races have been boring. Any good at welding? No, not really, Wombat. Alonso P3 is not inciting? No, that's cool. When the FIA decides to give him P3 and then take it away and then give it back, you know, that's good. You know, it's just boring, man. I'll be honest, I had more fun watching Atlanta last week. Watching NASCAR. Not even kidding. Had more fun watching that. And I know that's gonna piss somebody off, you know? If Ferrari didn't, insert room key to protect your floop. They didn't floop. About to learn stick welding in your class, Aiden? Oh, that's cool, man. Right on. Maybe F1 should go back to only Mercedes dominating. That was truly exciting. Oh, yeah, truly. Truly exciting. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was fun. Not. Yeah, so I thought the super speedway racing was pretty good. NASCAR is going to be at COTA this weekend, though, guys. And Kimi Räikkönen is going to drive for Trackhouse. And Jenson Button is going to drive in a NASCAR race. I'm going to say that again for emphasis. Jenson Button is driving in a NASCAR race. Okay. Yeah, and Steiner is going to commentate on it. That's right. Button is practicing for Le Mans. Yeah, Dink, he's doing something, dude. He's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. He's a Days of Thunder fan. Rubbin's racing. Yep. Indy at St. Petersburg was really good a couple weeks ago. That was awesome. Fun time. All right. Let's go back over there. Stand by for loss of signal from garage as expected. Okay. All right, I'm back. Oh, boy. Where did you learn how to pronounce Le Mans? From watching it a lot? Yeah. From watching it. Where did the other guy go? I don't know, man. He's gone. He gone. Okay, so Relativity space, Terran 1, launch coverage. All right, let's do this. Let's see what we got. When did you take the bet off? A little while ago, Facha. A little while ago, dude. Truck progress has been very slow lately. Yeah, we remember a little while ago when we said like it would probably be good to get the truck finished before KSP comes out. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea. Oops. So I've been belting it out on the weekends. Yeah. I'm not holding my breath on this one. Okay. Gonna be a bit. Yeah, okay, Thomas. Twitter just took a dump on me. Hold on. We're currently monitoring strong upper level winds and will be holding at T-minus 45. The start of our live stream will be delayed. Stay tuned as we await an update from the next weather balloon. I would have had time to finish the damn Duna mission. Crap. Well, that sucks. Yeah, that is what it is. Last as a time filler. Oh, cool. Building an all-digital carrier. Whose YouTube channel is this? We'll start at the top of the hour. Okay. Okay.
And a ship takes a number of years. It's not a project that we go and do in 6 months or even a year. At one time, we were riveting ships together, and then we transitioned over to welding, which was a huge transition in the shipyard. And
okay, it's Ingalls, so yeah, we can.
As long as we can imagine, we've been using these paper drawings and blueprints in order to put a ship together. I remember going into the first meeting and talking about, hey, we're going to make a change here. We're going to do something different. And at the time, there was a lot of brainstorming going on, and we were thinking, well, how can we make it better for the craftsmen? And one of the things that we came up with was taking the sheets of the drawing that were applicable to their job and attaching them to a work package. Very daunting task, because we had never narrowed something like that down to that scope. We didn't know what tools we needed in order to make that happen. And that quickly turned into, we have a model over here that we're designing this ship in. Everything's 3D. Wouldn't it be great if we could get that down?
Oh, that's cool, dude.
That way they're seeing the benefits of that model. And, we started with a prototype, and we're taking this paper copy of this drawing and we're putting it in a digital format. We take the design model, which has all the
kind of want the entire CAD model
already there from our engineering and design team. and we take the work package that the planning team has put together.
Nice,
and
Atlantic. There
we
you
sit
go.
down and we say, okay, well, here's the scope of work that we need to go accomplish with this work package. All right, what pieces out of that model do we need in order to accomplish that work? And we take those pieces out and we put it in that work set that has just the parts that they need.
We're looking at foundations, we're looking at sea chests. Now we're erecting complete super
You're right, no mouse pad.
lifts, bringing super lifts to actually put the ship together. When I signed up for it, I didn't know that it was going to be anything like this. You know, I was thinking
No mouse
shipyard.
pad.
You know, what else is there more than physically putting a
there's a
ship
lift.
together? And then you step into a department
Dude,
like
look at
this
that
where
sub-assembly,
you have no
man.
idea what you're jumping into, and I mean, that's pretty cool. And
She's not wrong.
you know, just being part of something new and knowing that it's just going to keep getting better and better.
I guess you could compare it to video games or you know, being in the digital atmosphere. It is very different, but once you start getting used to it, and then once you see the impact that's being made and start making it real, when you see the actual carriers being done, it's like, wow, I played a part in that. So a lot of our day looks like collaboration. It looks like sometimes integration with craftsmen that may be on the waterfront, and inputting the proper material that's needed so that the craftsmen can build a ship.
Yeah, he's working on the internet. See? He's working on the internet for the ship. Series of tubes.
Same way that they could as if they were looking at a drawing. And on their tablets, they're able to get access to the different dimensions, different welds, everything that's needed from the ground up to create that visual work instruction and that work package.
See? Series of tubes.
You know, when I think of Enterprise and I think of all of the firsts on the original, well, now I'm experiencing
And that work package.
You know, when I think of Enterprise and I think of all of the firsts on the original.
6.5 was not the first Enterprise.
Well, now I'm experiencing the first
It's cool,
paperless
convolution.
aircraft carrier, and I'm experiencing the opportunity and the chance to build that. That's a pretty cool feeling.
Yep, there they go. There's the keel for that sucker. Yeah, so guys, like what they do is they just make a bunch of sub-assemblies, and then the crane stacks the sub-assemblies. You saw the assembly order right at the beginning. Where are we? We're 321. But see, look.
Building a ship takes a number of years. It's not a project that we go and do.
See? Pretty cool. We're waiting on relativity, guys. The launch got pushed back a little ways, so.
That. That's a pretty cool feeling.
When do we get to see your DCS carrier landing
Everywhere
skills?
that I
don't
look,
know. There's
I
one of the
see
sub-assemblies.
A laptop or a tablet, or you know that
Oh,
that
that's
is
cool.
quickly or has quickly become one of
No,
their
Cammy, I didn't.
vital tools that they need and that they carry with them every day. They take care of those just like their tools. That's their governing document that they're working to, and those handoffs and that
Did that guy-
communication between planning
That guy's name isn't Mario, is it?
and us on the
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
waterfront is extremely important, because the last thing we want to do is
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
stop when we're on the deck plate trying to execute that
You just
work.
came out of that pipe. It's
and
like,
we
hey,
don't
what
have
up?
everything we need to be able to complete that work.
Yeah, basically we use the visual work instructions to make it way easier to see what we're doing. Before, everything we did was 2D. It was just flip this page, flip that page. Now I can
Yeah, that
completely
probably
take
is pretty
it,
handy.
flip it around, hide other items, and it just makes everything so
Yep,
much
there's
easier
your
as far as
sub-assemblies.
layoff, assembly, and you get to work with other people, and it makes it way easier to work together, because I feel like in our generation,
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you saw how scratched up that guy's hard hat was. You tell who's doing work by how scratched up their helmet is.
Between planning and us on the
You can tell who's doing work. Who's doing the damn work. Just saying.
2D, it was just flip this page, flip that page. Now I can completely take it, flip it around, hide
That's cool.
other items. And
That's
it just
really
makes
useful.
everything so much easier as far as layoff, assembly, and you get to work with other people, and it makes it way easier to work together, because I feel like in our generation, technology, it's easier to communicate and it's easier to show other people from our point of view, because that's what we do. We do technology, we're all up on our phones all the time and everything like that. So having that like electronic
that guy's helmet is pretty scratched up.
Amazing.
Oh man, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know, it just goes together. Being an older pipe fitter, I started in here in 1980. And
Cool.
I'm accustomed to using a hard copy of a drawing, looking at a piece of paper. And as a lot of people, when you have something new being implemented, you're always pushing back saying,
That's
hey,
cool.
you know, oh, man, they're doing the wrong thing. But I have actually caught on a lot quicker than I really thought I would. The good thing about it is having some of the younger people and even some of the older guys.
Dude, look at that. Look
we
at those
feed
pipes.
off of
They got
each
some
other.
chunk.
You know, we teach each other. I've learned a lot of things from this younger generation about computers that
Tell 'em.
I had no idea you could do.
We learning from each other. Each day is different.
That's cool.
Like he'll show me one thing one day, and then I come back and I show him a different way to do it, or I show him something completely he never knew nothing about. So it's, like I said, we learning from each other, but at the end, I think it's going to be a great thing.
That tablet is the document and is the lifeline that is between our engineering and planning department.
I don't know if you guys noticed. Aircraft carriers have a lot of pipes. Yeah, lots of pipes.
Departments down to us on the waterfront, and then we're taking that technical data and those pictures and putting these pieces of the puzzle together and building these ships that we've built
That's
with
cool.
paper for so many years and for so long.
Oh, it's exciting.
You can't see what that pipe is, though. You can't see that one. It's totally not a fire extinguisher.
But it's also that way
No,
of
you
the
see, you
world
can't
too,
see
right? Each and every person out here
Totally not an AFFF pipe. No.
knows that the work they're doing is very valuable. It is important that they get it right. It's important that the deck plate has what they need, and they want to make sure they have the right information there.
That's the lift. We
But
already
at the
saw
same
that.
time, it is full of excitement. We are the
There's
tip of the spear
the
here.
woman
We are the
that does the
future
thing.
of shipbuilding. And some of our children will be coming into the shipyard saying, "Hey,
Is it
my dad
NX?
used to say they
Yeah.
used to use paper
Dude.
drawings, right? Can you imagine how crazy that would be?" And they'll be using the VWI, and that's exciting. That's exciting to be part of that change.
Yeah, and that's where they build it. They build the carriers in that one dry dock. Every fixed wing carrier gets built right there, or in that one over there. Mostly this one though. That's pretty cool, John. Thanks for showing us that. Neato burrito. Yeah, there's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into making that. That's not exactly a small piece of equipment. You saw the "this is fine" dog meme on the whiteboard? No.
And those pictures and putting these
They're doing is very valuable. It is important that they get it right. It's important that the deck plate.
Wait a minute.
It's also that way to the world too, right? Each and every person out here knows that the work.
They're not even cubicles. They're hexicles. NX plus Team Center plus J2T Go plus Mendix. Met some of the guys that designed that system a few weeks ago at Siemens ILS. That's cool, Pete. Right on, man. They're hexicles. They're not even cubicles. They're hexicles. Oh, God.
What they're doing is very valuable. It is important that they get it right. It's important that the deck plate has what they need, and they want to make sure they have the right information there. But at the same time, it is full of excitement. We are the tip of the
drone
spear
cam.
here.
Where's that Doge meme?
We are the future of shipbuilding, and
Yep. Hyonk em goose. Hyonk em goose. And Pac-Man? Hyonk. This is fine. Why do all the engineers have the "this is fine, everything's going to heck" meme everywhere? This is fine. Yeah, no, that somebody drew some Untitled Goose Game stuff there. And This Is Fine and Pac-Man. And it's printed out over there. They haven't scrubbed yet. It's engineering, it's chaos.
You know, some of our children will be coming in.
It is. E92 for... That's what that says, Fart, doesn't it? Yep, that is what that says. Because that's life in the yard. Nah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, she did have a mouse pad, though. That's right. That is pretty cool. I would do despicable things with a full CAD model of the aircraft carrier. That would be really cool. But then again, if I had that, yeah, someone would probably be like, nah. Nah. Yeah, actually, you know what, guys? Just on a side note, you know something I noticed about the Ford carriers? Look where the tower is. That tower is way in the aft end of the ship. See that? Towers on the Nimitz are up here somewhere. They're in front of the starboard aft elevator. They're right there. On the Ford class, they're way back there. Yeah, that's right, Trunks, right? She has a long hood for the V12. Yep. Figured with your background you enjoy this video. I mean, John, I could do that. I could do what they're doing. Sure. Yeah, I could do that. Give me a week. I could learn NX. No problem. Easy peasy. Farther back, less chance of getting hit if things go sideways on a landing. Yeah. I mean, dude, just think about how you have to go about balancing that damn thing. Because, like, either you have a ballast tank or you have some superstructure or some structure over here that's counterbalancing that freaking thing, and that freaking thing is not light. The Ford classes look good, man. They look real. That's, dude, the deck, the conning tower back like that looks, it's not called a conning tower. The superstructure back like that is nice. That's really cool looking. When's this sucker launching? 80? Oh, no, not for a while. There's already 2 Ford class carriers that are floating, I think. I think one of them is commissioned. I'm not sure. The Island, that's what it's called. Yeah. Construction began 2017 with a steel cutting ceremony. It's scheduled to be in operation by 2028. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Pete, I got you. I got you, man. Yeah. Anyway, it's like 100 tons on a 100,000 ton ship. Yeah, right, yeah. Compared to the rest, that tower is nothing. I mean, she's definitely heavy. Now, 40. So there's, dude, that thing is sharp. That thing is sharp. That looks real. It's really nice. That's nice, man. That's a big ship. Wow. Ford is commissioned. Kennedy is not that far behind. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, look, on the Nimitz. On the Nimitz, the island is more forward. See that? It's in front of the starboard aft elevator. They swapped the positions. Yeah, like you guys probably said it's probably so you could get a better view of the flight deck. But dude, look at that thing. Hey, really dumb question. Do those things have any kind of dynamic propulsion or only the main propellers on the back? Don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, that it actually is much shorter than the Nimitz, and it looks like the so okay, it's been a while. So there's three decks right here. They're not called decks because they're above the flight deck. There's 3 levels here. The bottom one is for the ship propulsion, right? The top one is the tower. I forget what the middle one does. Yeah, they're levels when you're above the flight deck. It's a different name. I'm trying to use spacecraft freaking definitions. It's messing with me. It also staggers the elevator entrances. Really, really would make aircraft moves a lot easier. Yeah, right? Yeah, they're all staggered now. They swapped the positions. So it's command, control, and then flight. So one of these is like the tower for the jets incoming. One of them is like where the captain is, right? Why don't aircraft carriers have those 2 prongs off the bow anymore? What were they used for?
Discovery, go at throttle.
They were part of the catapult. Hey, Salute. The top is the tower. That's right. Yeah. Took me a second. Middle one is the pilot house. Lower one is, I think, for the admiral. Primary flight control is what it's called. Thanks, boys. Yeah. It's coming back to me, dude. I used to watch and read tons about those things over there. Man. 75's looking a little rusty over there. Compared to this thing. look at this thing. Man, look at 75, dude. You gonna paint it or what? Atlantic 75 was your ship? Why'd they let it get so rusty? The hell is this? Permission to buzz the tower. Negative, Ghost Rider. Pattern is full. You won an award when you were there? Yeah. That's crazy, dude. Just look at how many freaking planes that thing has on it. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. There's 37 F-18s on that thing. And there's, you know what's crazy? There's probably more below deck. There's probably more inside. I mean, that's just one, dude. And not to mention there's a... what is that, an E3? No, E2? E2. E3 is something different. Yeah, there's airborne warning control systems. There's 3 of them there. There's an SH-60. It's nuts, man.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
$2 billion. The planes just justify a $2 billion carrier. Hey, whatever. It's beast mode, dude. It's freaking cool. Yeah, it can hold 90. Yeah. Like Badger, the hangar deck is full. And not only, dude, you want to hear something crazy? Not only can it hold that many aircraft, the aircraft carrier is a full maintenance facility. A full maintenance facility. Anything that you can do to that F-18 on land, you can do on that carrier, which is freaking nuts to me. Like, so not only, okay, so what does that mean? They are carrying an entire stock of parts for every freaking plane in the back, in the aft end of the ship. That's where the machine shop is, right? Like, even engine test. There's an engine test stand built into the back of the carrier. True story. Yep, there's an engine test stand. It's on the aft deck. You can see it right there. That's the engine testing. Yep, they can do everything. Everything that you can do on land, you can do there. Tim Ellis, here we go. T-minus 45 and counting. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's actually insane. You can literally strip an F-18 down to its shell, down to the fuselage, and rebuild it from the ground up. They have the facilities to do it on the carrier, which is unreal to me. Here's a fun bit of info. There's a level between the hangar and the flight deck. Pretty much the whole air wing lives in there. Yes, that means some poor saps get to live with F-18 smashing the hell out of their roof. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's crazy to me that there's like 70 planes on this, and they could rebuild every single one of them. It's pretty damn impressive, dude. Every single one of them. Not even, it's not like, yeah, of course we can do that. Have you read about how aircraft carriers are potentially obsolete due to military drones? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I'm no armchair general, back alley. I highly doubt that, though. Because the thing about the aircraft carriers, okay, so two things, all right? If we're going to be an armchair general about this, all right? I'm a civilian. I've never served. I like the hardware. I like how the hardware works. In terms of like offense, defense, I don't know if I'm the best guy to ask.
Go at throttle up.
Hey, Captain Crash 66, and then Hydra with a 24. It's not because I like you or anything. Don't make it weird. All right, cool. So, I don't think that drones, I don't think that's going to be a problem for the carriers. You got to remember, guys, the carriers are there for projection. They're there to show, like, look, we have an entire naval aviation wing off of your shores, and we could bomb the frick out of you. That's what it's there for. It's there for projection. It's not. I mean, gone are the days of like World War II where you're like fighting carrier versus carrier. You know what I mean? That's not really what the carrier does. It's there to support. It's a supporting ship, right? Like it's there to support fixed wing operations somewhere over some other country, right? So it's there to project power, right? That's why we have them, right? Colloquially, it's called the jet stop. The test stands are portable. Word. So here's the thing. A carrier ain't going to be out alone. No way. You have a carrier group. And I know what's in the carrier group. It usually consists... There's some Tycons, some Arleigh Burkes, some resupply ships, and then some other stuff that you don't need to know about. That basically screens for the carrier, and that's what you're fighting against. I don't know if that's going to take out a swarm of drones, back alley. Maybe, maybe not. Who has that type of capability? You know, like... But I digress. The second part of that is, dude, I always hear about these war games things that NATO does and the war games that people do, right? Where they, you know, oh, we had war games, right? And, you know, like, everybody always says, like, yeah, there was this one war game where Sweden sunk an aircraft carrier. One Swedish ship sunk an aircraft carrier, right? It's like, okay, great. One Swedish ship sunk the aircraft carrier. That's fine. That sucks. Your country doesn't exist anymore. Well, great, you sunk one of our freaking 12 aircraft carrier. That's great. Your country doesn't exist on the map. So in the time it took for that to happen, everyone else is dead. There is no, your country doesn't exist. So, I don't know. Take that for what it's worth, dude. You know, like, your country doesn't exist. Oh, great, you sunk one of the carriers. But we have a bunch more, and now you, I hope you have enough supplies to hold out, because you have no port to go back to. You know, like, like, so I don't know, back alley. Like, dude, what kind of drones are we talking about here? Like, what you know, like, people are saying like, oh, drones are obsolete because like, or tanks are obsolete because of drones. I'm like, fat chance. The Sea Whiz would have no problem taking out a swarm of drones. Yeah, like that's what I mean. The Sea Sparrow and the Sea Whiz dudes, and then on top of the screen that everything provides. And there are parts of a carrier group that you don't need to know about. Well, Aqualex, you probably know. You probably know what shadows the carrier. You probably know. A lot of people here probably know. There's parts of carrier groups that, yeah, you don't know about. Okay, boomer. Not that type of boomer. What was the problem last time with Terran 1? The auto sequencer configuration was not good. They had to adjust parameters, dude, like I said. Yep, listen to their whine all the time. Yep, the glass maker. Yeah, some of you guys know. We don't send the carriers out by themselves. That's really stupid. We learned not to do that at Midway. 70-something years ago, you don't do that. You don't leave the carrier by itself. That's a really bad idea. But once again, guys, take me talking about this with a grain of salt. Like, I'm just an armchair general. I probably don't know more about it than just the average Twitter user. Spaceflight is that's my lane, you know, and I try to stay in my lane. Are you surprised that they're doing their test flight at night? Yeah, a little bit, McFunPants. Yeah, you really want to get good imaging on the vehicle. You want to go in the most ideal conditions, but if the most ideal weather conditions are now's the time to go. I mean, yeah. Also, between the guided missile crews, the various picket and the CWIS, not to mention stealthy elements, you won't get near the carrier. Yeah, exactly, Mile. On top of the screening ships, you got CAP and the carrier's own anti-air systems. Yep. So, back alley, I don't know. Like, it really depends on what the threat is. Because right now, the threat is, you know, the CWIS, dude, that thing has miniguns. Okay. All U.S. Navy ships, like the big ships, not even the big ships. Arleigh Burkes have them too. You ever watch The Expanse? The point defense weapons in The Expanse? Yeah, we have that. We have those, like literally that. It's called the 20mm phalanx, the close-in weapon systems. It's called CWIS for short. It's literally that, point defense. Where do you think they got the idea? They got it from the Navy. It is an automatic minigun. So like you flip the turret on and it goes up target. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. Yeah, the carriers have point defense weapons on them. You can see them right here in this picture. See that? See the pill-shaped thing? That's your point defense. That thing will literally shoot an incoming missile out of the sky. It'll literally just throw bullets at it. Just like point defense in The Expanse. See that? CWISs, they're everywhere. And this is not something that we haven't had for any, you know, short period of time. In the 80s, when they were upgrading the Iowas, I don't know about you guys, I think a battleship with a minigun on it is pretty freaking cool. A battleship with a minigun on it and a very big gun on it is that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Yeah, they're point defense weapons. That and Sea Sparrows. They use the Sea Sparrows, which are up here. See that thing? Sea Sparrow. It is it's not an anti-ballistic missile system, but it's a missile that can intercept another missile. Yeah, and the Iowas also had Tomahawks. They had cruise missiles on them. That's what those things are. See those things right there? The tubes? Tubes. Yes, every Navy ship has these things on them nowadays. Point defense. Everything. Oh, yeah. And they've been around for a long time. The carrier, I mean, the Iowas were built in World War II, right? This carrier was built a couple of years ago. It has the same thing. And don't get me wrong, that before anybody goes, wait, they had miniguns in World War II? No. The Iowas were refitted in the early 80s to match the Soviet Kirov battlecruisers. Yeah, CWIS can do what a bunch of guys on 40mm Bofors can do, Pythos. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they had a CWIS on the carrier? The Japanese would try to come in and kamikaze. It wouldn't even get close. Just bye-bye. It would just obliterate it. There wouldn't be any zero left. Maybe the engine would fall down, but you'd freaking just bye-bye. It'd just be like feathers, like, you know. Yeah, Iowas are big, Aiden. That's cool, Aiden. Nice. This is the final countdown. Yep. And CWIS are your last chance to avoid disaster. Yeah, the CWIS is point defense. That's exactly what it is. It's just like the Expanse. They're point defense weapons. That's if your entire air wing is gone, you're out of Sea Sparrow missiles, and something is coming at the carrier. You can just... That's somehow if you get past the screen. And I don't know, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying somebody couldn't do it. You know, Chinese, Russian, whomever. They could probably do it. But, okay, at what cost? Like, why? Why would you even try to do that? That's really stupid. talking about these things, right? It's the 20mm close-in weapon system. Yeah, the Phalanx. Yep, that's it. It has a on it. Yep. Yeah, but is it the Rocinante? That's the Tachi, thank you very much. Yeah, they said legitimate salvage. The thing about that is that, you know, they have another word for that. It's called stealing. It comes from the military experts that are observing how the meta had changed with what's going on overseas, okay? I don't want to say it, dude. Drone swarms are cheap to make relatively compared to carriers, so you can overwhelm the country's carriers more cheaply. What is happening again? Those point defense systems are rather capable. I mean, dude, a CWIS could probably, if the CWIS could track the radar signature of 1,000 drones, it could probably get most of them. They would have to be going fast, dude. You would need a lot of drones. I'm telling you, what that CWIS can do is kind of scary. It literally goes. There's footage out there, and that Bandit may have linked it a second ago, but there's footage out there of a CWIS engaging multiple targets at once. Just mag. So you're talking both military and rockets today. What's the propulsion behind the Russian hypersonic missile? It's probably a ramjet, if I had to guess, Flyboy. I don't know, dude. You wouldn't have to. It puts a wall of lead. Yep. 12, you got something? Yeah, here, let's see. So yeah, that CWIS is pretty insane. I don't know, man. Those drones would have a hard time. And like, here's the thing, Back Alley. So say you had like DJI shaped drones, and you have like 1,000 of them going at a carrier group, right? The CWIS would take out, I don't know, a good amount of those things. Okay, so you have one DJI drone that drops what? A grenade onto the deck of the carrier? Like, what's the end game there? Like, what are these defense experts thinking? Like, what kind of drones are we talking about here? Yeah, what is he going to do? Drop a grenade on the deck? Oh my god. That's freaking cool. Holy balls, that was cool. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of bullets. So you see that? You see the line of tracers? You know there's like 4 or 5 bullets in between each one of those tracers, right? It's literally a wall of lead. That's the CWIS, man. It's in A10. Yeah. That's freaking nuts, dude. Can you play it again, please? Sure. We gotta check. We're waiting for relativity here. Oh my god! Dude! Oh my god, that's awesome. That's crazy, goalie. That's crazy. All the drones don't need to be armed. The U.S. used drone saturation operation over Baghdad during Iraq to blanket radar signatures and protect their actual aircraft. Interesting, Martellus. Interesting. That was a string of, if I remember right, 7 missiles. Loud warning. What's that? Dude. So they were putting CWIS out on trailers? Oh, gosh. What were the CWIS doing? They were shooting down rockets? They must have shot at, like, incoming rockets and stuff, right? Here's my link. Yeah. And yeah, yours is a short. Are they? All right, let's see. Fellas, this might get loud. Dino, 75 months, thank you. CRAM, not CWIS. That thing freaks me out, man. Watch this. Here comes the bird. You see it tracking the thing? Look, it's tracking it. Dude, it just shot a missile out of the sky by hurling bullets at it. I mean, that's pretty cool. that's pretty, you know, I get it. It's like minigun and stuff, but that's really cool. How does it track it? Science. And it tells the local artillery where to aim. That's unbelievable. Yeah, Weather Guy was just saying that. Yeah, those were used as our air defense when you were out in Baghdad. They're pretty cool. I'd like to see one go ham on something 12. Just once. I'm not going to say I wouldn't get fired up from it. I'd be like, yeah, that's freaking sick, dude. Yeah, did you see the 2 bullets go off in different directions? That's crazy, man. That's absolutely nuts. What a freaking chonker, man. So, wait a minute. Yeah, it likely knows where... So you're telling me that the CRAM knows where the missile is? CRAM knows where the missile... Mother of God. New KSP add-on? No, I don't know. The resolution you can get with microwave is still pretty crazy. It's what powers the front of the IFF on the F-35. That's cool, man. It knows where the missile is because it knows where the missile isn't. Yeah. The bullets in the CRAM explode when the tracer burns out if they don't hit something, so they don't just land on stuff downrange. That's pretty smart, Aramar. We're live. All right. Relativity time. Did you get the Duna boss? Nope. Kerbal, the Kraken took it. Oh well. How competitive disruptive would a small sat launcher with a cheap, simple, solid rocket first stage and a liquid second stage that re-enters and lands in the ocean via parachutes in the small sat launch market? Be good, Erudite, but what you just said, simple, is not a thing with rocket science when you get into orbit. I did, Badger. I did hear that. Not just that, the CRAM knows where the missile will be. Yeah. That can be corrected by the GEA. It could shoot mortars out of the sky. Hey, Loopy, thanks for the raid. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Also, launching at night will help with the temp issues. That's crazy. The self-detonating rounds is a modification for land-based use. In the sea, nobody cares. So yeah, I don't know, Back Alley. Like, I'm not gonna say that the carrier is like, you're not getting to the carrier. Dude, someone could get to the carrier, sure. There would be a hefty price tag to do that, but you could. Sure, why not? Nothing. No system is impenetrable. Nothing. I'm sorry. You build a bigger fort, someone's gonna build a bigger cannon. That's I mean, if I'm gonna armchair general, that's how I would. That's what I think. You know. I forgot this was tonight. I just got my bike back. Nice. Sweet. Like, I'm never going to sit here and say that a carrier is fully, like, invincible. No. Absolutely not. The second you start thinking that is the second your carrier is going to get sunk. You know what I'm saying? There's a chapter in Red Storm Rising. ETA, about 45 minutes. Less than 45 minutes. There's a chapter in Red Storm Rising that talks about the Ruskies attacking a carrier group. It's pretty detailed. Cool. Yeah, caveman, right? Exactly. No more videos, guys. We need to keep this up main screen. Yep. Did I miss the launch? No, not yet. Yeah, exactly, Just. T0 is set for 10:38 Eastern. Okay, all right. So we're way closer than 45 minutes. We're 32 minutes out. Size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. You know, Golden, the only people that say that are people with small ships. I don't see anybody, I don't see, people sailing around on an aircraft carrier saying it's not size, it's how you use it. They just say it's how you use it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Natch, 24-month resub. The Swedish sub that sunk the American CV. Yeah, failing to realize that Sweden no longer exists as a country after that. Are you talking a ship? Yeah, of course. What about Patton, though, huh? Here's something that might impress you. How did see the F-18s practice shooting ground targets? You heard the impacts before you heard the gun. Yeah, if you see the flash, that means it's not aiming at you. Or no, if you hear the sound, that means it's not aiming at you. That's what it is, yeah. Downer Tracker, unrelated to this, but I wanted to share. My company just successfully tested wireless power at equivalent orbital distance, complete with steering the beam, a world first. Dude, that's sick. Awesome. Not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. Yeah, the only people that say that stuff are people that have small dogs. That's cool, Dino. Really neat. But yeah, guys, like, once again, if I'm going to be an armchair general, no system is impenetrable. Nothing. Someone will always make a bigger gun. Yeah, I think it's important to understand. Have you tried DCS yet? No. Yeah, Pythos, sure. I'm telling you guys, one time... Here, I'll show you real quick before the stream starts. Let me make sure we have sound going, just in case. So, one time, I was with Saber, one of my mods, right? And we were at Pima in Tucson here. So, Pima's right here. First of all, it is one of the gnarliest air and space museums around. Just look at some of the hardware. B-50, all right, 707, B-47, B-36, two B-52s, Canberra, B-58, right?
Everybody on point.
And, okay, that's starting up now. And check this out. So they were across, over here is Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, right? That's where the Boneyard is. And I was standing like right here, right? And there was an A-10. They were doing A-10s doing touch and goes on the runway. They were basically going out and around and then turning around and coming back. But when they turned around, right, they were facing towards Pima for a second before turning on approach for the runway. And like I was standing there and I was sitting here and I was watching the A-10 fly this way, and then it turned and pointed right at me. It pointed right at me, so I could see the landing lights. Like the landing light on the front gear, I could see it. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not like, oh my god, it was trying to strafe me. That's stupid, right? But I will say, for that, like, 1 second, my brain went into fight or flight mode. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, it's turning towards, it's pointing, okay, yeah, no, it's just doing touch and goes, all right? Like, for that 1 second, I'm like, wow, that would really suck right now if that thing fired its cannon. It's literally pointing right at me. It was weird. Like, it was in for a second. Like, and I didn't do anything. I just kind of looked at it and went, oh, okay. Stream is live. Yeah, I know it is. I know. Yeah, Brimstone, I've seen that. They landed it on a highway in Michigan. I mean, it is a gun. Yeah, his story, like, yeah. Knowing that an Avenger cannon is pointed at me, I was like, nope, don't like that. All right. Let's see what we got.
And I'm Arwa Tazani Kelly, Technical Program Manager for Test and Launch at Relativity Space. I'm responsible for supporting the teams that design, build, and operate our test and launch sites across the country for both our Terran 1 and Terran R vehicles, including operations on the stages, engines, and propulsion.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, there's a 30mm Avenger cannon pointed at me right now. I'm like, I don't like that at all. I really don't like that. It's looking at me, Ray. Ryan, type it out again, my dude. Type it out again. Back in the day, I was at the local gun range and watched A-10 practice from the tower. That's cool, man. You got to go back there and visit the Boneyard. And remember to hydrate. Yeah, Tessa, that's true. Yep. Nope, don't like that. Yep.
The vehicle automation system successfully recycled the vehicle and secured a new T0 time, which was during the last minute of our launch window. After recycling, at T-minus 45 seconds, we had an automated abort on the second stage fuel pressure, which was only 1 psi outside of the limit. Let's hear more about our previous attempts from our chief engineer, James Harris.
All right, let's see.
Hi, I'm James Harris. I'm the Chief Engineer for Terran 1 here
Hi,
at
James.
Relativity Space. On our first launch attempt on March 8th, we had a ground system
About
issue
10
that
minutes
prevented
out.
us from getting our liquid oxygen temperatures as cold as we need for launch. So after trying to work through that, we ultimately had to scrub for the day because we couldn't hit what we call our launch commit criteria, or LCCs, on those temperatures. We were able to solve the ground system issue pretty quickly, and we were back out there again on March 11th. And on that day, as you guys know, we lit the engines and got as far down as T-minus 0.5 seconds. At T-minus 0.5, we check our last set of launch commit criteria. And what happened that time is we tripped a criteria on what was calculated as a leak rate. We were able to find the cause of that in the automation and fix it quickly and turn around into another attempt. The second attempt aborted because our fuel tank on stage 2 was slightly outside of pressure bounds. And again, that's something that we can very easily fix. We've really learned a lot from these first 2 launch attempts. We've really nailed down our ConOps and the flow of how the operations day goes, so it's pretty smooth now. In the second attempt, we had really excellent propellant temperatures and we're well conditioned and ready to fly from that point of view. We also got a really important data set of running all the way through our countdown down to T0, including lighting the engines. Getting that data set lets us then check all of our other abort criteria to make sure we weren't going to hit anything else. And what we found is that the only issue we had on the March 11th attempt was that one pressure decay red line, which we were able to fix by changing the valve close timing. So that data set really gives us the confidence that we have our automation and our abort criteria ready for the next launch attempt. I'm really excited to go into the next launch attempt. I think we got the last couple pieces of data that we needed to make sure that the next attempt here is going to be successful, and all of our automation and abort criteria are going to get us there to a successful release.
So, you know, we thought something may have gone wrong with with the center engine. There was actually nothing wrong with the center engine. The other thing I was thinking when I said it was that the launch commit criteria, so the auto sequencer parameters weren't configured correctly. And that's what they were talking about resetting the parameters on the auto sequencer. Doing that is okay to do on a test flight. That's really not something you want to do during an operational mission. But yeah, good to know. Good to know.
Eye on that, and we'll hold the clock as necessary
Oh, look,
if
they're
needed
holding.
closer to launch.
Nice.
However, now there is currently a boat in the range, so we are holding the clock and waiting for the range to clear that boat out of the hazard zone.
This is happening, chat.
We'll keep a close eye on it and give you an update shortly here once we know what happened.
Not like this. Not like this. It's been a horrible day. Oh, my boat. Oh my God. That's my boat. That's my boat, Jenny. Oh, we didn't have that camera before. Wallops moment. That's pretty good. Oh boy. Alright, I'm gonna turn that down. So yeah, the auto sequencer wasn't the commit criteria. So launch commit criteria, the auto sequencer, yeah. I mean, the auto sequencer is different than the launch commit criteria, but yeah. Deploying torpedoes now. Get the Sea Whiz out, damn it! Sea Whiz that boat over there. See that boat? Delete it with the you know? I don't know, Pandarific. I don't know. Deploy this PDCs from our legitimate salvage. Oh, you're here. Great. They're in a hold right now. There's a boat in the range. So, what does that mean? So, for the people that don't know, a boat in the range, the fire is normal. I know someone looked at that and said, huh. The fire is normal. It's a purge flame because they're using liquid natural gas. You don't give, they have to vent liquid natural gas overboard because it's boiling, okay? And if you don't give it a place to ignite, it'll find a place for you to ignite. And that place that you want it to ignite is not a good place. Take the Hindenburg, for example. That's a good example. Give it a place to burn, or it'll find a place to burn. Anyway, so what does a boat in the range mean? So when a rocket flies, you have the FAA issues a temporary flight restriction on the range. So the range is basically the area where the launch pads are, but the testing range goes all the way out into the ocean. So a temporary flight restriction gets issued on a NOTAM, notice to air missions, right? And notice to sea missions, I guess. I don't know what the NOTAM would be for ships. There's another name for it, but basically saying from this time to this time, do not sail or fly here. It is basically the track, right? So picture like 100-meter like radius circle around the rocket, and that, you know, you're gonna extrude it like a slinky almost, and it's flying the ascent corridor, right? That's the track for the rocket, and anything that's underneath that track, right, is area like no-go zones. Don't get me wrong, it's not like all the way across the ocean. It's only in the areas, so like if the rocket experiences a RUD during max Q or something, like when the dynamic pressure, if the dynamic pressure gets too high, it flips over, it'd have to blow it up. You know, if the debris falls down, that area is kind of cordoned off. And the area where this first stage is going to fall down is also cordoned off. It's basically just a gigantic lane for the rocket until like the second stage engine cut off, right? Or at least till the rocket gets to the point where if it comes back down, it's going to burn up, right? So boat in the range means the boat went through that imaginary corridor, and they, out of an abundance of safety, you don't want to launch. Volcom, this is one of the issues that they had last time, but a boat in the range doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the rocket. Yeah, I had the stream unmuted for that part. It's the @buzz, areas to be avoided. Thank you. Really, Gully? Third time's a charm? I hope so, Dustin. So, they'll probably talk about it here in a second, but this rocket was entirely, like, 85% 3D printed. The only thing that really wasn't printed on this thing are nuts and bolts that hold it together and, like, wires and stuff. It is the first of its kind. No one's ever tried to manufacture a rocket this way. So, in the past, rockets are made by taking a bunch of sheets of metal, curving them, and then putting them together. Let me get an example here. Hang on. I'll find it. So basically, you have a bunch of jigs, right? And the jig puts together a dome, and then another dome down the bottom, and then you have a bunch of sheets of aluminum, right? And you bend them to curve, and then you weld them all together, like that, right? Or like that. That's the same photo. Or like that. That is the RP-1 tank. You can see that it's just made out of a bunch of aluminum sheets, right? That are welded together. Now, don't get me wrong. Most rockets flying today are still made like this. They're still, hey, True, what's going on? They're still made like this. It's just the welding mechanism, the way they weld the tanks together, has gotten a lot more advanced over the years. They use stir welding, basically where they melt the two aluminum sheets together by stirring the aluminum around. That's a lot lighter of a weld, and it's a lot stronger because the weld doesn't screw with the molecular structure of the aluminum, but that's another story. So for the most part, rockets have been made this way pretty much since the beginning of the space age, right? Like this picture is 55, 60 years old. They've been made like that for a really long time. What Relativity does with their rocket is, if we go back at the beginning of the stream, they make it on a jig. they have a welder, right? And they're basically laying welding bead on a rotisserie, like that. They're laying down welding bead. And that's how they 3D print the tanks, and they 3D print engines this way. They use stereolithography, too, for engine components. They'll probably talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, no one's ever tried to make a rocket like this. No one's ever tried that. No one's ever done this before. So this is actually a pretty big deal. It's a pretty cool launch, and I really hope it, goes well. Solid chance this is a boat. This is the boat. Seems to be a tug that's going to Savannah, Georgia. Yep. Yeah, that guy's gonna be in for a rude awakening when the Coast Guard shows up off port bow of his ship, saying, "You need to turn around, like now, please." Did Saturn V in launch attempts ever get hydrogen leaks? I don't know off the top of my head, Erudite. I would assume that it did. We have a number for you to call. 2 Coast Guard boats are nearby. 1 is inbound. Uh-oh. The Coast Guard. Yep. Sarah, this is a Wendy's. Yep, there's a boat in the range right now, guys. So, yeah. This rocket's pretty cool. There's a rocket called Terran 1. Once again, 85% of this rocket is straight 3D printed with proprietary 3D printers that Relativity has engineered. So 3D printing rockets is cool, but what separates Relativity from everybody else? Well, Relativity isn't just working on 3D printing rockets. They want to leverage that technology so they could work on on-orbit manufacturing, so 3D printing spacecraft in space and HAB modules, etc., etc. This is just the first of a bunch of hopefully a lot of rockets that and that'll eventually lead to like building huge on-orbit manufacturing facilities in space. That's the end goal for them, which is actually pretty cool.
Until we have that update from the range.
Okay, they're still waiting for the boat in the range. I heard that. Yeah, Nova. How much is a range fine? I don't know. Here, stretch forming. I know what stretch forming is. They don't do that, actually. They do that, like Centaur would do that with its stainless steel, but they don't do exactly that, Aqualex. Yeah, Centaur does that with stainless, with its bulkheads, but not with like Saturn V, Falcon, stuff like that. No. Fire a 16-inch shell at the boat. That'll take care of it. Damn. This is the Coast Guard ship that's the closest. So this is the Coast Guard ship that's been dispatched to go see the tug. Oh, that guy's got some rock and roll on the front of that thing. Damn, dude. Vets. What is that? You got 240 Bravo on that thing? It looks like 240 Bravo. That's some rock and roll up in front, dude. Oh, man. He could make a persuasive argument. That's, yeah, I don't want to be in front of that. Don't like that. Damn. Imagine that guy showing up. Cute dinky little gun. What do you mean dinky little gun? I mean, compared to that 20 millimeter that we were just looking at, EVA. Yeah, I suppose. This is the other one. Oh, what does the other one have? Oh, hey. How you doing? That's got 2. Get back to me when they have 16-inch. EVA, I knew I liked you. Seriously though, one 16-inch. There would be no ship left. They would never find pieces of it. I don't know if they're deuces, Jan, are they? Were those deuces? I know that the other ship had a 240B on it. 240B is not... Okay, we're saying like, oh yeah, it's small compared to a 16-inch gun. A 240 Bravo shoots 7.62 by 51. That... You don't want to get hit by one of those. Let me just put it that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. You don't want to get hit by any bullet, but you really don't want to get hit by that. Yeah, that'd hurt. Reefer, you were toting around one of those things, man. That dude, I've never held one, but I've held a saw, and the saw was pretty hefty for something that shoots 5.56. But yeah, 308 will ruin your day. Yeah. 240B is anti-material. That's crazy. Yeah. You don't want to get hit with one of those. No comparison. No way. You guys know rockets, planes, and boats? J-Nick, I'm into all kinds of mechanical stuff. You just don't hear me talk about it. I'm somewhat of a gun nut myself. MG3? You really don't want to be on the receiving end of that. that would be bad. Can't trust you. You don't know that the P90 is good. Talk to the hand. MG3 is nice. I recently saw someone made a 338 Lapua LMG. SIG. Yeah, SIG did. SIG is making something to replace the M249, and it shoots 338. So if you're a Counter-Strike player, Counter-Strike 2, I guess, came out or something. If you're a Counter-Strike player, it's an LMG that shoots op bullets. You know that thing that if you hit somebody in the head, headshot. 435 in 1 for Counter-Strike players. Yeah, it's shooting that out of a belt-fed machine gun. Yeah. That's SIG's new gun. What is it called? Hold on. I was watching a YouTube channel about it the other day. It's an M338. That's what it's called. Yeah, that thing is nuts, dude. The M338. It's just... Yeah. No. The larger Coast Guard cutters have a 57mm cannon on the front. Nice. Nice. So, once again, guys, we're holding for a boat in the range. The machine gunner walked firing that thing. Kuda, did you see that? You saw that, the Garen Thumb video? Right? Where the guy takes the thing and he's just like... He's freaking charging while letting 338 go. Like... I'm like, how are you doing that? That's... How did you do that? That's... Alright. Okay. Alright. No, it's another boat. Turtles. Yeah, did you see when the camera guy, what's his name? The camera guy went and tried to do it. He couldn't do it. He's trying to go forward. He's like, dude, that 338 is big. It's a big gun.
Go at throttle up.
Technigamer, welcome to Mission Control. You go at throttle up. Thank you. Stu Dog with a 63-monther as well. Shrub, 72 months. Yeah, I watched Garen Thumb. Charlie's my favorite creation. Charlie's my favorite. Snoring deserts. Yeah. That guy's funny as hell. Ever shot an 8mm Mauser? No, I have not. Tug turning down range, likely to turn around, not to foul the range. Cool. Can never go wrong with the Flannel Daddy. Would there be insurance for this? There's always insurance for every launch, Volcom. In fact, the insurance premiums going down on rockets actually is one of the kind of big things that allow rockets, like all these prototype rockets, to get made. Seriously, the insurance rates are they've been going down for a little while. I mean, they start to go back up when people have failures, but yeah. Insurance willing to insure the multi-million-dollar rockets is one of the reasons why the commercial sector has exploded the way that it has. The P320 is the best pistol you've ever owned. Nice, Spooey. That's nice. Yeah, Sig's all right. We don't mind Sig. What's the cost to use the pad? Well, they lease it from the Air Force, and it's contractual, CUDA, so it really. With a contract, it's a la carte, man. So every single contract for a lease for a pad is going to be a little bit different. That fire gets big sometimes. Yeah, it's just venting. It's just venting the LNG. Commercial sector exploded. Bad phrasing. Nice. You have a K98 and a Mosin 91. Nice, nice. K98, very good. Mosin, yeah, you can't lose with the Mosin. Mosin's nice. 9mm IMI Desert Eagles. You have a 9mm Desert Eagle. Interesting. Interesting. I like the Desert Eagles, guys, but if we're going to talk IMI, the Jericho 941 is... I like that. That's cool. I know SpaceX pays NASA a paycheck for its pad at 39. Well, they all do. Yeah, of course. You have a Scar Twisted? Oh, that's cool. Scar 17. So Scar H. That's nice. Mine has both the 44 Magna 50 AE barrels. Jeez, guys. That's some freaking firepower, dudes. Nice. Not bad. There's only really one. UK defected Yule guns say replicate on the side. And mine says Desert Eagle .50 should perpetuate your balls into shrinking along with your presence. Oh, they're back.
A new T0. We expect to get that new time in the next 5 minutes, so we are currently standing by.
Okay. I'm sitting by, but that's cool. Oh, Hellfish, that would be a dream, dude. Cool. Anyway, so we're kind of in a hold right now, dude, so that's why we're just talking about Newton's third law. Because what is a gun but an SRB? It is. Andrew, what's up, buddy? You ready for baseball season, dude, or what? Ooh, an M1A 12. Ooh. Springfield, very nice. That's nice. 12. Man, you guys are packing some heat. That's good stuff, man. You have a Vepr, Demon? You have a Vepr in 308? Whoa, that's cool. New T0 of 1105. All right, guys, we're 30 minutes out. A Vepr chambered in 308. How the hell did you get that? And how did you get it chambered in 308? What? What's the grain pattern inside of a bullet? It's actually it's not shaped. It's actually designed to maximize energy output quickly. A Vepr in 308. Jeez, that's weird. That's weird stuff. Scar 17, 315. Oh, you have a 10 Aviator. Nice. You have it, dude. You have a USP. That's cool. Cool. You have a 5, dude. Twisted. You got good. That's a good taste right there. That's nice. Nice. USPs are cool, man. They got 2 finger guns. Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Are these guys? Oh.
We have coordinated new T0 time and are currently targeting 03:05:00. The clock will resume in approximately.
Yeah, the USP's a chunker, man. All right, 5 past the hour, guys. Oh, I'm gonna PTR 91. PTR 91s
As
are
you
nice.
heard on
Those
Countdown,
are cool.
we are targeting a new T0 time that we have now confirmed with the range at 23:05. Again, that's 23:05 Eastern.
Nice, Twisted.
The clock will resume shortly, according to
Demon,
that
look
launch
at that. Look at that thing. That freaking Vepr. That's cool, man. Twisted, what do you think you are, Mickey Spillane? You think you're some kind of frickin' writer? Sir, I wrote for my high school newspaper, sir. You're not a writer, you're a killer! Let me see, goalie. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Let me see your war face. Let me see your launch face. Ah! You didn't scare me. Work on it. A 5.56 Norinco. You have a 5.56. That's cool, man. Weird. Read your last. What's up, High Guys? If you could do it, there's a lot of you in here, so if you could do it, just type it again. Are these guys cursed with boats or something? Every boat is just like, you know what, I want to go there today. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, can't spend. I remember watching Mail Call back in the day, dude. I watched the crap out of that show. Let me see your launch phase. Ah! You know. Is the AK American? No Erudite, but dude, we make AKs, dude. We make everything. Yeah, they make everything over here, dude. There's so many AKs around. Seriously, probably more than some small countries, man. They're everywhere. Good old Gunny, that's right. When should I redeem the ad time to clear it for launch? About 15 minutes. A Craig Jorgensen. You have a Craig Jorgensen rifle? Whoa. Talk about historic, game-changing weapons. Craig Jorgensen was one of the first guns to get that bolt right. That's cool, Hellfish. I know what that is. That's really neat. Sup, you have a FAL in 308? Oh, the FAL is my favorite, man. That's my favorite one, dude. Coolest gun I own is a 20 gauge manufactured in 1906. Company was RCA, manufactured in Brazil. No way. No way. Sup, we can forgive the P90 discretions, man. You have a FAL. Let's see, okay, it makes more sense. You're kind of an FN guy. That's fine. FAL is my favorite, man. Right arm of the free world, dude. Freaking love that gun. You got a Lee Enfield. Nice. Nice. Long barrel or short barrel, Sleepy? 1871 Mauser. 11 millimeter Mauser. Anybody have ammo? Let me know. Nice, Twisted. Nice. Nice. It's a long one. Nice. It's a nice rifle, man. Fun fact, IBM made M1 carbines. I want to find one just for the fact that I'm a software engineer. Nice. Since you're a plane nerd, what would be the best of both worlds if you combined an American and Russian 5th-gen fighter jet advantages? Okay, so here's what we would do. We'd take the best parts of the Russian plane, and we'd take the best parts of the American plane, and then we'd minus the Russian parts, and that would get you the best plane. They're in Locke's top firework, yeah. Ah, Hellfish, that's cool. No, Pythos, I haven't. Thanks for the bits, everybody. Ten Shill had a couple of bits in there. I do appreciate it. So reverse engineer the Russian plane. No, I don't need that. We don't need that. That's cool. 24-hour dig? No. We're waiting for that dang boat. Ah, reefer, very nice, very nice. Man, you know how I always say, like, if you like rockets, you're probably gonna like race cars and stuff. It's very clear that a lot of you guys are fans of Newton's third law as much as I am. If you catch my drift. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good to know.
All right.
Hello.
The clock is rolling. We are just under T-minus 25 minutes now.
Enough guns.
We did receive confirmation that propellant loading is complete for both stages. We're going to keep an eye out on those upper level winds and on the range today, but the vehicle is healthy. So as of now, we're proceeding with 2305.
Thank you, Arwa. Arwa will continue to provide regular status updates over the course of the countdown. In the top left of your screen, you can continue to find our countdown clock to follow along in our pre-launch operations.
Stream is too smart for you.
And now a quick reminder about the purpose of Good Luck.
Ben, we try not to get too crazy with this stuff, dude, but yeah, if we're not making any sense talking about rockets or whatever, just wait about 23 minutes. You'll see one hell of a light show. You know what I'm saying?
Our much larger, medium to heavy lift, reusable launch vehicle. The lessons learned from this mission will also enable us to improve our software-driven approach to manufacturing.
And as a reminder, today's launch includes many firsts. Terran 1 is the first 3D printed rocket, which is 85% 3D printed by mass. It's in a race to become the first Methalox propelled rocket to achieve orbit. If orbit is achieved, Relativity will also become the first venture-backed space company to have successfully reached orbit on its first flight.
And it's worth noting that while Terran 1 will be capable of lifting 1,250 kilograms into low Earth orbit, or LEO, today's launch doesn't have a customer payload. We do, however, have a memento aboard, one that's quite unique to Relativity that we'll tell you more about later.
Liftoff is currently scheduled about 22 minutes from now.
Sniper,
This estimation may change as we continue to work through our countdown, but we will keep you updated along the way. Today's launch window lasts for 3 hours, and this provides us more time to troubleshoot any issues that could arise. And if any unforeseen issues arise during the countdown, we can pause the launch sequence if necessary, as you've just seen.
Please don't.
The window for today's launch attempt opened up at 2200 Eastern Time.
Not on this rocket.
The pad was cleared of all personnel at T-minus 4 hours, followed by the start of propellant loading, which has since been completed. We're now topping off our tanks and conditioning our propellant to the proper temperatures ahead of launch. Now at approximately T-minus 20 to T-minus 15 minutes, the launch director will poll the launch teams to ensure that all subsystems, weather, and the range are go for terminal count.
No, Hoffman.
Terminal count will then begin at T-minus 70 seconds, and that's when the vehicle's internal flight computer will take control of the countdown.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, while we wait for T0, let's talk about the process that got us here.
So SpaceX is doing Methalox as well with Starship. Starship's never been to space. No one's ever had a Methalox rocket or an LNG rocket to get to orbit, ever. This will be if this one succeeds, it'll be the first. China tried. They had a methane rocket launch a couple of months ago. It didn't work.
Today's flight is largely about proving our hypothesis that 3D printing is a viable way to manufacture a rocket, and it can successfully withstand the pressures of flight. Through robust ground testing, we're confident that we have a real shot at proving just that. So the more data that we collect from this flight means that we'll have access to more insights, and this will give us the confidence that we're able to execute on Terran R and help us solve all the hard problems that come with building a medium to heavy lift reusable rocket. As a business, we're following a Pathfinder product development approach. So the Terran 1 that you see on the pad today has always been our Pathfinder. It was designed to be a development platform for Terran R, and it has served us exceedingly well to date in that capacity as we've progressed through printing and testing ahead of today's launch. Arwa, let's remind everyone what we would call a success for today's launch.
Absolutely. Again, safely clearing the pad, getting out over the ocean, and passing the point of maximum dynamic pressure, or max Q, would be a big milestone for today's launch. This is again because it's the point where the structural loads on the vehicle are the highest, making it one of the most challenging phases of flight. And this is the point in flight where we really want to prove much of what has already been proven on the ground. During acceptance testing, the vehicle withstood loads even beyond what we anticipate it will encounter during flight. So passing this milestone would effectively demonstrate that 3D printed rockets are structurally viable. And then if we make it even further to stage separation, we will have achieved a full first stage flight, and that'll be another big accomplishment for the team. From there, we'll attempt to light the second stage and get Terran 1 to orbit.
Stage 2 is targeting a 200 kilometer by 210 kilometer orbit, and this is not a traditional orbital target, but that is our target for today, given this is our first launch and not a customer mission. As a reminder, we do not have a customer payload on this flight since it's not a customer mission. So instead, we are celebrating how far we've come by mounting our first ever metal 3D print from the first generation Stargate printer inside of Terran 1's nose cone.
This one is not reusable,
of course,
Historia, but
it was
they're
a failed
do
print
reuse.
Since no one had done it before. Let's go ahead and take a look at this memento. So that piece.
What do they mean by a 200 by 210 orbit? That is the highest and lowest point in the orbit. They're basically trying to get a circular orbit booger at about 200 kilometers up, which is 120 miles. That's a parking orbit. That's a really, really low
piece with the GLHF and our mitosis logo to commemorate this maiden launch.
Salty, yes.
We would be excited to see this memento get to orbit, but to take a step back and set.
I mean, does it really count without a real payload fairing separation? Asking for a friend. Yeah. No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. They don't even have a mass simulator up there. They have that disc. Pete, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. We'll see. This was this one isn't methalox, guys. They keep calling it methalox, but they're not using pure methane and pure liquid oxygen. They themselves said they're using LNG. So LNG is methane, butane, propane. Like, it's a mixture. And so why the heck would you do that? Why would you mix it? Well, why not use one or the other? Well, they mix it to, basically it comes down to application. You can make a nice cocktail of liquid natural gas altogether for whatever you're trying to do. So they probably fed it that so the engine burns better or something. Like, there's a good reason. But yeah, it's LNG. It's actually not just straight methane, even though they call it methalox. But yep, I'll tell you what, boy, this rocket has clean burning propane on it. Fresh from Strickland, Texas.
Now, as a reminder, our primary objective for today is to gather as much data as...
There's water in the exhaust! Come on, old girl.
Reusable launch vehicle.
Up next in our countdown will be the go, no-go for launch, which is expected to occur in the next several minutes. Let's take in some views of Turn 1 under the lights of Launch Complex 16 while we wait to hear from Mission Control.
Oh, be quiet, pig. Oh, there you go. I'm visiting it right on. Why did they just say there's not good footage of the second stage? So you're not there. Okay, Jay, sorry, I keep interrupting with my Hank Hill impression. So what they were talking about there, I've heard them say it before in the other cast. So with a developmental flight, the developmental flight carries a very, very high amount of developmental flight instrumentation sensors, or just DFI sensors. DFI are a little bit different to like a regular sensor that you'd have on a rocket called an OFI, an operational flight instrumentation. Now, why? Why do you want that? Well, you want to get a good data set. You want to get a good baseline for how the rocket's performing so you can better understand what the heck you just did, right? So this is carrying usually more sensors. They're called developmental sensors. And what happens is oftentimes we don't get onboard views from rockets. It's tough to get an onboard view from a rocket because all those sensors are offloading all the data on the rocket in real time. We're talking about like a bunch of, like, dude, I don't even know what the data transfer rate is. It's, you know, it takes 8 minutes for it to get up into space, and that time it'll have downloaded off of the rocket terabytes, maybe even a petabyte of information. The rockets can downlink with extremely high bandwidth. That's a really, really important thing because you're not getting the rocket back. It's not like you can go check the black box. Once that thing leaves the pad, you're not getting it back. This one is not reusable. So don't get me wrong, Relativity plans on doing reuse in the future. But yeah, they need to be able to offlink all the data pretty much in real time. Yeah, you don't want to get net lag with your rocket because you could get a blank in the telemetry, which is no good. You don't roll around on the daily with crash test sensors installed in your car. Yeah, DFI, exactly. So this one's carrying a ton of sensors to offload a ton of data. In the future, the rockets won't be carrying all those DFI sensors. Like Aqualex actually, that's a good way to put that. You know, you're not going to have all the instrumentation that they have during a crash test when you're driving around your car, right? That's a good way to put it, dude. So that's usually that usually takes up all the bandwidth. It's like when astronauts are up on the ISS. So the ISS has one of the fastest internet connections around. Really, like it's better than fiber up on the ISS, right? But if you try to send an email off the ISS, it's like 56K, maybe like DSL speeds, something like that. The reason why is because most of that bandwidth is hogged up by downlinking all the telemetry to Mission Control. All the systems that Mission Control is watching on the ISS. So the ISS has insanely good internet. It's just like 90% of it is clogged up with telemetry. Not clogged up. That's not the right way to put it. You need that. You need to know that. You need to know the telemetry so you don't die. It's kind of important. But yeah, that's why they won't have onboards, dude. Because the DFI and OFI sensors are all going to be downloading in real time. You might get a spotty signal at best, but yeah. Are the computers not remote desktop back to Houston? I could have sworn they were. I'm not sure, Scary. Maybe. I mean, I'm only going off what Pam Melroy told me when I asked her. I saw her at Intrepid one time, and I asked about it. I'm like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Like... Nice, Erudite. See last if possible. Andrew, just type it again, buddy. There's too many people. What radio frequency ranges are venture companies allowed to use for comms? You can go see their FCC filings if you really want to know, Twilight. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. They usually use VHF. So VHF and UHF because of the high bandwidth. I may not have said that right. It's VHF and UHF. They don't use short band. I don't think. Yeah, it's pretty loggers. Tried to get the ad redeemed, but it says sold out on stream. Oh, okay. Well, at T-minus 10 minutes, we'll let it roll. Okay?
To assess high-level winds, we'll update briefly with a new T0 time once we get new balloon data.
Monitoring upper-level winds.
All right, as you heard from our launch director, Clay Walker, we are going to hold the clock at T-minus 10 minutes. We're currently evaluating those upper-level winds and just make sure that the wind shear is okay with our stage 1 gimbal limits. We're going to coordinate with the range and make sure we have the proper data that is within acceptable limits before we have a new T0.
Yeah,
Stand by.
I blame the boat. Yeah. P. You gotta check your floop. How long is the launch window? 3 hours again, if I'm understanding it right. Don't insult my Steiner ship. Yeah, well. Relativity, the thing is that relativity could have looked like a bunch of rock stars, you know, but instead they look like a bunch of freaking vankers with that boat in the range, with my boat. Is LNG more energy dense than RP1? No, subsonic, no. It's more efficient, less impulse. Or no, more impulse. More impulse, that's what it is. He does not frick smash my door! Hey, Magnuson was in the points, dude. He was in the points. He got 10th. Not bad. T? T. Yes. Oh.
All right, everyone, we are currently looking at an updated launch time of 23:25 Eastern. That's 11:25 p.m. Eastern. We're going to wait for that final confirmation from the range, and then we'll pick up RT clock accordingly at 23:15.
Yeah, Pythos, you said it, and I'm like, I have no idea what that is, dude. All right, let's cut the formalities. Just send it. You just work your little problem down there and light the scandal, okay? I want one of these because it's in 760 by 54. Yo. 762 by 54. When you absolutely have to eliminate every melon farmer in the room. Send it. They can print another one. Yeah, more shots. You really want to wait until the conditions are the most ideal. Give you the best odds of success. I love the motion, but your shoulder doesn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, see? It's like I was talking about before. There's a lot of people here that are fans of Newton's third law, equal and opposite reaction. So yeah, your shoulder hurts a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to put a value on the test flight, you know? What's the approximate cost to produce the vehicle? Well, theoretically, 3D printing is a much shorter manufacturing time, so the cost should be less. Should be. That's one of the things that Relativity is trying to do. Not only are they trying to 3D print the rockets, but they're trying to 3D print the rockets faster than everybody else. Everybody else that's stir welding aluminum panels together, that takes months. It takes months to do that right, because stir welding is a very slow process. The 3D printer can zip out a rocket in a month, which is kind of nuts when you think about it. Oh.
As we continue to hold, let's take a moment for those that missed the previous broadcast to do a refresher about the Terran 1 architecture.
Yes, let's!
Let's go ahead and look at Terran 1 on a graphic up on the screen. So starting from the left-hand side of the vehicle, this is the bottom where we have the 9 Aeon 1 engines. In our previous broadcast, we talked about these engines getting printed using powder bed fusion or PBF technology. Each of these engines has a thrust capability of 23,000 pounds at sea level. This gives us a max total liftoff thrust of more than 200,000 pounds. The Aeon 1 engine is designed with a gas generator cycle, and we have thrust vector control actuators, or TVCAs, mounted on these engines in order to gimbal the vehicle during flight. We have completed more than 2,000 engine hot fires and over 10,900 seconds of runtime across Aeon 1 hot fire tests. The Aeon 1 engines are attached to the vehicle through the thrust structure. This is what takes the load from the thrust of the engines. And above the thrust structure is the stage with WAM printed tanks. This is our wire arc additive manufacturing in-house process. These tanks hold liquid oxygen on the top and liquid natural gas on the bottom. These tanks are pressurized during flight using an autogenous pressurization system. This works by running propellant through heat exchangers mounted on our engines, which convert the liquid propellant into a gaseous state, and this is piped into the top of the tanks to maintain our ullage pressure, or the required pressure for the tanks. Above the Stage 1 tanks is the WAM printed interstage, and this holds our stage separation mechanisms that separate Stage 2 from Stage 1 during flight. This is a pneumatic pusher system. And above the interstage is Stage 2, which has a single Aeon vacuum engine that is also printed with PBF. This engine has a thrust capability of more than 25,000 pounds in vacuum and has...
Announcement on countdown, this is the LD. We have coordinated a new UTC target time of 03:25:00. Clock will jump back to T-minus 16 minutes for go, no, go poll. And we'll begin count shortly thereafter.
How much is that in bald
Okay, there
eagles?
was that official confirmation of the new launch time of 23:25 Eastern. We are going to roll back the clock shortly to T-minus 16 minutes so we can go ahead and resume our go, no-go polling with our team of engineers and mission control.
There it is.
And we'll do that in alignment with 23:25.
The nose cone is fixed. It does not...
and as we continue to wait, let's finish up on the Terran 1 architecture.
Yes, let's.
As I mentioned, Stage 2 has WAM printed tanks just like Stage 1. And above Stage 2 is the WAM printed nose cone. So for future missions, this would be replaced with a fairing and also have a separation system. We don't have a customer payload as we discussed, but we did design Terran 1 for a payload capacity of 1,250 kilograms to low Earth orbit, or LEO, and 900 kilograms to Sun synchronous orbit, or SSO, for customer missions. All data from Terran 1 development will be fed into Terran R, and you can follow along our updates in the development, particularly for our Aeon R engine. We'll go ahead and take a moment to continue to look at Terran 1 out on the pad as we wait for updates from mission control.
There are other 3D printed rocket engines out there. The Rutherford engine at Rocket Lab is 3D printed. But no one's ever tried to 3D print like the whole freaking rocket, dude. No one's done that. Did they say what the planned end of life for this rocket is? What do you mean, Cammy? What's end of life? I'm not familiar with that. That would be cool, TJ, yeah. We know, Farm. How long have we been hodl? Since 9 o'clock, so about 2 hours. All right, so the T0 is 25 after the hour. It's currently 1 past the hour. Hey, Beardo. It will decay, Travis. Yeah, if it makes it to if it makes it to 200 circ, it'll just decay from there. That's only 120 miles up. That's not very far. That's a parking orbit. So that parking orbit is basically an orbit you don't stay in a parking orbit for very long. Parking orbit is where you put things before they go somewhere, and they have to go somewhere relatively quick because you're coming back down pretty fast if you're not careful. Will the rocket be burnt up in the atmosphere, crash into the sea, or the trajectory out of system? Will it be burned up in the atmosphere? The first stage, no. Second stage, yes, most likely. Will it crash into the ocean? Second stage, no. First stage, yes, probably. Trajectory out of system, no. Right, Cheeseburger? Yeah, it's pretty dope, right? Yeah, I like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. How much fuel are they losing just sitting there? An inconsequential amount. Now, don't get me wrong, they are venting LOX overboard because if you want to use liquid oxygen and liquid natural gas, they're good. If you're, inside of the tanks, it's at high pressure, super low temperature, it's gonna boil. Just like a pot of water on the stove. It's going to boil. So the props do boiling off, right? The props do be boiling off, though. Yeah, that was a sentence. So with the liquid natural gas, you have to have a recirculation system that goes to a purge line, and that's what that flame is over there. That's what the birthday candle is over there. So if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And then the liquid oxygen turns to gaseous oxygen. You can just vent that overboard. They're losing a good amount because it is boiling. I mean, but this is just topping. This is prop topping, so that's the vehicle's in a pretty steady state, like in a pretty safe state right now. But yeah, it just looks like they're venting a lot. But they do this to make sure that the ullage pressure doesn't get too high as
New
well.
T0 time of 23:25 Eastern. The T clock is currently paused at T-minus 16 minutes. We're going to resume that T clock in about 5 minutes, where we're going to go straight into the go no-go polls with mission control.
Okay. Is this steam or smoke? It's not steam. It's gaseous oxygen. It's gaseous oxygen that's basically that's finding the warm Florida air, so it condenses a little bit. Yeah, see, that's the second stage LOX vent, first stage LOX vent. And you can see that there's a lot of ice on this thing because they're using full cryogenics. Note that there's only, like I said, there's only LOX vents here. There's no LNG vents. You don't really want to vent your LNG right next to your LOX that vents. That's a good way to make it explode, not down here. So once again, that purge flame is over there. You can just see it over there on the left. That is so the methane, the gaseous liquid natural gas gets recirculated down the transporter erector over to the purge line. Purge line works like a big Bunsen. It's a big Bunsen burner. Come on, voice. It's a big Bunsen burner, guys. That's basically what it is. Remember those from science class? It's a big Bunsen burner. Seriously, that's what it is. They just light the flame at one end with an igniter, and it burning causes a siphon. It siphons the gaseous methane through the system. Yeah, it's a big Bunsen burner. Bunsen burger. I'm pretty sure you don't want that. It might be on fire. Why is venting needed? Well, the tanks, they're using fully cryogenic propellants, Rin. It's a good question. They're using fully cryogenic propellants. These fully cryogenic propellants need to be held at an extremely low temperature. So, like, they have liquid oxygen in there. Well, why liquid oxygen? Well, there's no oxygen up there. You have to bring the oxygen with you because it goes into space, right? So it's easier to bring it in liquid form because you can get more of it in there, right? So if you want to use liquid oxygen is really freaking cold. It's 293 Fahrenheit, minus 293 Fahrenheit. That's really freaking cold. So because they're trying to store a lot of it in there, they have to store it at high pressure too. And when you store something like that at really low temperature, at really high pressure, it boils. So they're venting the gaseous oxygen that's from boiling over. That's from the propellants boiling over, right? They're venting it out the sides. The LNG is doing the same. That's what that purge line is for. You don't want to vent your gaseous liquid fuel fumes right next to your oxygen, because that's the only time that should be happening is down there at the bottom of the rocket, right? So, yeah, no, that's science, right? It's pretty cool, right? So I was talking about tank ullage. So inside of these liquid fuel tanks, right, you have your LNG tank there and the LOX tank is up there. Inside of them, because the prop is boiling, right, you have what's called tank ullage pressure. They have to keep the vent lines open, right? Because if you close the vent lines and you just left the propellant in there, it would boil and then it would overpressurize the tank. That's your ullage pressure, that residual gas from your propellants boiling. That's ullage pressure. You have to alleviate that, or else the rocket pops like a balloon. And don't get me wrong, we've watched a lot of test flights on this stream. We've seen stuff like that happen. It ain't pretty. If none of that made any sense, just in case anybody's clicking on the stream, if none of that made any sense, the really, really, really simple way of explaining this is that you want explosions to happen down there, and only down there, going this way. The explosions should be going in one direction down there. And that's the only thing. That's the only explosion that should be happening. If you're exploding this way, or that way, or this way, you're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong. So, yeah, that's the explanation for, like, tank ullage gases and venting all this stuff overboard. Basically, it's to make sure that the rocket explodes down there, and just down there. You want to fire it in one direction, not all directions? Yep. So, see, it's interesting because this purge flame is getting bigger. So when the purge flame gets bigger and smaller, if I had to guess, what's going on there is that there's the ullage pressure got too high, so the circulator needs to crank into overtime. There's a regulator valve that goes to that purge line, right? They'll probably open the regulator to alleviate
15 minutes away.
To alleviate ullage. The LNG ullage. Clock started. 15 minutes. All right, here we go. What up, AOD?
All parties on net. This is the go, no go poll for launch. Please provide concurrence to proceed in the launch countdown with go, no go.
That's right.
VC. VC go. GC1. GC1 go. GC2. GC2 go. Ground. Ground go. AVI. AVI go. FTS. FTS go. RF. RF go. GNC. GNC go. Maybe. Flight software. Flight software go.
Chat.
Thermal. Thermal go.
Chat is
Prop
go.
1. Prop 1 go. Prop 2. Prop 2 go. Fluids 1. Fluids 1 go. Fluids 2. Fluids 2 go. Loads. Loads is go. Rock.
That man is playing Galaga.
OSM.
Thought we'd notice.
RC.
Thought we wouldn't notice.
Go. Vehicle.
But we did.
Vehicles go. CE. CE's go. LC. LC's go. All parties have reported go for launch countdown. Once the clock begins to roll, anyone can call for a hold at any time. A hold is called prior to T-minus 70 seconds. The T-clock will continue to roll until T-minus 70, at which point a hold will automatically be initiated. A hold is not possible after T-minus 70, and any hold call after that will result in a terminal count abort. Should a hold manual be necessary, the person calling for a hold or abort should state clearly on comms, hold, or abort, abort, abort. In the event that OSM requires a hold, OSM will initiate the hold command on the OSM GUI and notify LD and RC on primary net.
He said GUI, and then all the software engineers in here went, what?
And you just heard our launch director complete the go, no-go polling with our mission control team. As you heard, all systems are currently healthy, so as of now, we're able to proceed with our scheduled launch time in just about 13 minutes.
Throughout today's live stream, you've been hearing callouts from Mission Control. Let's take a moment to introduce you to our Mission Control team. Clay Walker, who you just heard, Launch Director. John Wiswall, Launch Conductor. James Harris, Chief Engineer. Elijah Escobedo, Vehicle Controls. Brian Batters and Zoe Dickard on Ground Control. Bill Stack, Ground. And Joy Mosdell, Range Coordinator. These are a few notable members, also from leadership, are supporting today's launch here at Launch Control. And this includes our co-founder and CEO, Tim Ellis, our Chief Operating Officer who leads product execution, Zach Dunn, Vice President of Test and Launch, Don Katterbeck, and Director of Cape Operations, Pat Svatek. These are among the many, many others who are making today's launch happen. Let's go ahead and take a moment to pause and listen in for any other updates from Mission Control.
I think while we wait, maybe for our new viewers, let's give them a little bit more info about the systems that we're seeing on the pad once again. So the rocket rolls out of the hangar horizontally and is then lifted vertically by the transporter erector. That's the black vertical truss structure that you see behind the rocket there. The four large towers surrounding the pad make up our lightning protection system. They protect the vehicle from any direct lightning strikes. Inside of those, you'll see 4 small black posts around the pad called rainbirds. They're used for acoustic mitigation for the rocket and do so by covering the pad with water to dampen the reflected acoustics at liftoff. The small flame that you see there at the bottom right hand of your screen was once again the flare stack. No need to worry, this is perfectly intentional. It burns off flammable gases from propellant loading, venting operations, and priming of the engine igniters.
I'm worrying.
It's a little harder to see, but the small slide-looking structure beneath the vehicle is our water-cooled flame diverter.
I'm not worried.
It's used to mitigate the heat from lighting the engines, and it directs exhaust plumes away from the vehicle. You might also be able to see in this view 3 different levels under the rocket. So the largest and lowest level is the pad deck, and directly above it is the launch table. So this is where the launch mount pins to the pad and creates that flame duct. The launch mount on top of it is one component of the transporter erector. So it transfers loads into the pad deck during hot fire tests and engine ramp up at launch.
Okay, so guys, I hate ads. I hate running ads. I really don't like it. Ads are intrusive. I hate them, and they suck. With that being said, 10 minutes out, always 10 minutes out from a launch, I'm going to run ads for the people that aren't, I'm going to run the pre-roll ads and disable pre-rolls for the people that aren't subs. And the reason why is because I don't want somebody seeing this thumbnail, right? In the science and technology category. I don't want somebody seeing the damn thumbnail, click on the stream of the rocket actually launching, and have ad for something you don't need. Okay, so, hey, Funky, welcome to Mission Control. You're going throttle up. So, I'm gonna go run the ad. I'm gonna run the ads now. I'll see you on the other side. Sorry about that. I really don't like doing it. I'll be honest with you. It's intrusive. Ads are annoying and they're very distracting. But yeah, we got to. Better do it now. Get out of our system, right? Or Matt, you can do that too. I really don't care. I hate ads that freaking much. I don't care if it makes me less money. I'm not even, dude. I'm super serious about that. I hate them. I hate them so much, dude. Seriously, please, by all means, you know. Yeah, James, I don't blame you.
Few minutes until launch, you'll hear callouts from our engineers and mission control as we go through the final procedural steps before liftoff. We'll be pressing the tanks, priming the igniters, doing the final engine checkouts, retracting the strong back, and then getting that final go for launch. We're currently proceeding with the launch time of 11:25 Eastern. That is 23:25 Eastern. Let's continue to listen in.
Yes, let's. Interesting, 10-4. I saw that. I saw that, Nova. I'm not attending GDC, but maybe anybody here? Can anybody here get me a ticket to GDC so I can go talk to Kerbal devs about science? There was a boat in the range.
Stage 1
Super.
pneumatics and transition to helium.
All right,
There's a
we're
boat in the
pressurizing
range,
the
but
propellant
it's gone.
tanks to flight pressures with helium. As a reminder, during flight, we'll pressurize the tanks using
Tracking for engine chill.
autogenous pressurization.
Oh, thanks, Spartan. This is Complex 16.
As you
Launch
can see
Complex
from these
16 in
epic
Florida.
views,
Cape
we
Canaveral
are
Space Force
launching
Station.
at night today, but in terms of our vehicle, it doesn't make a difference if we're launching during the day or at night. The systems operate the same. You are able to see those white clouds a little bit more clearly now. So that big white cloud you're seeing come out of the strong back is due to strong back chill operations. So we're chilling all of the ground equipment to try to get our locks as cold as possible for stage 2. Those smaller white clouds that you saw earlier coming out of the vehicle at different levels are due to the venting of the chilled gas from the rocket. And that venting into the humid Florida air out here is what causes the gas to condense into vapor and look like clouds. You can also see the frost on the rocket and what looks to be small white pieces falling off.
Stay frosty,
That's
chap.
all just ice, and it's because of the chilled propellant inside. It's so cold that you'll see ice falling off the vehicle.
No, Swoopy, we're launching today at night. Not tonight, today at night,
Stage 2 igniter is configured for priming.
I think.
Arwa, let's walk through the launch timeline now that we're getting closer.
Yeah, at T-minus 70 seconds,
Right
the
there,
vehicle will go into terminal count, and this is when the vehicle's internal flight computer takes control of the countdown. We'll then go
I know,
into
these,
final
right?
flight termination checks and get FTS go from the launch conductor in coordination with the mission flight control officer and operation safety manager.
Lazy, you don't.
T-minus 6
you don't wanna
seconds,
touch
we're going to
that.
see that blue fire and have ignition
me,
of
dude.
those 9
You don't wanna
beautiful
touch that.
3D printed Aeon 1 engines. And then at T0, we will have liftoff and Terran 1 will fly. Shortly after, at T plus 2 seconds, the strong back will throw back to assist in removing the umbilicals and clear the path for the vehicle to fly. And then at T plus 12 seconds, we'll begin our pitch over program. So we'll go downrange in an easterly direction over the Atlantic Ocean. And then at T plus 80 seconds is that very important milestone of max Q,
Yeah,
where the
it's a
structural
Christmas
loads
story.
on the vehicle are the highest.
But you, whatever
At
touches that
approximately
the side of that
T
rocket,
plus
you ain't getting back.
160 seconds, we'll get
It's
to
really
main
freaking
engine
cold,
cutoff,
dude.
or MECO, where the stage 1 engines will shut off. This is followed shortly by stage
Don't lick it.
separation, and the Aeon vacuum will ignite. Aeon vacuum engine will ignite on the second stage. Second stage will burn for a little under 5 minutes. Then at approximately 463 seconds,
bit butter,
we'll get
but
to
not much.
second engine cutoff, or SECO. We'll go ahead and tune back in to mission control.
Clearly not, Seth. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Flight computer and vertical leveling.
Okay, so they're configuring.
As a reminder, GLHF is our maiden launch, so what we're really looking for here is to learn as
Configuring
much
the
as
IMU.
possible and demonstrate the product concept.
No, I'm not
The
making
big
up words.
milestone will be reaching
swear.
that point of maximum dynamic
problem,
pressure, or max Q.
There's no RGB. There's
Stage
RGB
1
on the.
igniters are priming in. Stage 2 igniters, the flight target.
Okay.
We're now priming those igniters with gaseous oxygen and gaseous hydrogen.
Yeah, they have hydrolox.
In just about
igniters.
30 seconds, we're going to be looking
I
for
did, John.
the transporter erector cradle to disengage.
Nice, guys. That'd be cool. Inside of 4 minutes.
Stage 2 is on internal power.
Okay, they cut the rocket off from the grid. That means it's
The
running.
cradle disengaged.
That means it's running off its own
All right, now
batteries.
those cradle arms are going to slowly release stage 2 so the strong back can retract. You can see the arms
Happened
opening
in
up there.
1998, James. Are the ice will come off when the rocket launches, guys. All of it will dislodge. Thrust vector control check out right there. Look at the nozzles.
Stage 1 TVC checkouts running.
And now you'll be able to see the stage 1 engines gimbaling or tilting, as you see, while we're completing those final thrust vector control health checks.
That's cool.
Stage 1 is on internal power.
It looks like a 3D printer trying to configure itself. So that was their thrust vector control actuators, and making sure that's basically how you steer the thing. You need that. You need that to steer the rocket. Okay.
The strong back will be retracting shortly here.
Strong back is retracting.
Okay.
Here you go. We're retracting that black truss structure to prepare for
Stage 2 TVC checkouts.
umbilical separation now that both stages are on internal power. And now we're doing those final thrust vector control health checks on the upper stage.
22 months. Thanks, Funky.
Starting final review of launch commit criteria.
Wow, we are very closely approaching T-minus 1 minute. I just want to remind all of us here that what you're looking at on your screen is 85% 3D printed, and it is about to fly.
All right, game phase. Let's go.
Next up, our range coordinator will ask the range for their final status.
90 seconds. Auto sequencer will initiate at T-minus 70.
Rock, report range status.
Range green.
You are cleared for unrestricted climb.
That was confirmation. The range is green
Auto
for
sequencer
launch.
should be starting now.
Propellant closing out.
Close out. You should see the vent line go on the rocket.
Flight computer configured for launch.
Okay, auto sequencer is reporting
Under
green.
1 minute.
It's configured. There's a ground gas closeout, making sure you get the rest of the gaseous liquid oxygen and gaseous methane out of the transporter erector. 45 seconds.
LD, are you go for launch? LD, go for launch.
Launch director reports green.
There's that final go for launch. We are just over 30 seconds away until
30.
the maiden launch of this vehicle. Good luck, Terran 1, and have fun. Here we go.
20 seconds. Ten.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She's going. Go, baby, go!
Terran 1 has cleared the tower.
She's off the pad.
Runover starting. Launch pad facing.
Look at that blue fire!
Awesome. Looks real good. Everything looks real good there. Ice is coming off the vehicle. It's all that ice that was on the side that comes off when the big launch. You can see chunks of it coming off. That's normal. Oh, look at that. Oh. Nope, everything's good. Look at how crisp that flame is.
If you can hear me over the cheering, the vehicle is now headed downrange in an easterly direction over the Atlantic Ocean. Our next ascent milestone is max Q around 80 seconds.
Terran 1 is supersonic. Get telemetry switch over at the ground station. Max Q.
Late.
We are on our way to making a new history. Terran came ready to play today. You just heard that call out indicating Terran 1 just made it through. Max Q.
Ow.
We just completed a major step in proving to the world that 3D printed rockets are structurally viable.
Hey, I've screamed at rockets before too. I get it. All right, so next step is at 2 minutes. So 2 minutes 40 seconds, you should get main engine cut off. I'd like to point out that the max Q call was 4 seconds past their mission timeline.
Up next, we'll be looking for a call out that stage 1 performance is nominal.
Very crisp beat, very nice. 10 seconds to staging. Nice onboard. Yeah, downlink sucks though. Stand by for the call from Miko now. Good flame out. Second stage engine start should be now. Right on time.
As you can see, we were waiting for Miko and upper stage ignition. This means that we had a main engine cutoff for stage 1, and directly following that, we had second stage ignition, which you can see the Aeon vacuum engine in that beautiful view in the night sky. Reminder, there is no fairing for this maiden launch as we don't have a customer payload, but we do instead have a memento of the first ever circular test print.
She's slowing down, guys. It looks like it choked.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Maybe they could reignite, but they're... You see the gimbal? The gimbal.
We are currently standing by for an update on what's happening with the stage 2 engine.
Yep, it's shut off, dudes. Yeah, I mean, you could try to... Yeah. Yeah, that ignition, they didn't get it. It was a hard start. That, at least I think, from what I could tell, looked like a hard start. Yep. Okay, so if you can't see a live onboard picture from a rocket, guys, a real easy way to tell that something is going wrong is looking for someone doing this. Look for someone doing this or this. If it really goes south, someone will be doing the not like this. But they did cut the audio here. It was good, Moto. That was really cool. No, that was really awesome. First stage went well. They just had a little trouble with ignition. Guys, staging is one of the hardest parts that you can do for any rocket. If you make it to second stage ignition on the first try, you did good.
Announcement on countdown. This is the LD. There has been a T+ anomaly with stage 2. LC, please begin anomaly procedure section 25. Copy.
Damn. Max Q was their primary goal. Yep, everything after that's a stretch. Making it to main engine cutoff is big. Yeah, that's big. That's a big deal. Real big deal. Hit H3. Yeah, staging is one of the hardest parts, dude. That's one of the hardest parts of doing this. Really, it is the most difficult part. Air starting a rocket engine is not easy. Heck, it's not even easy to start a rocket engine down here. But the fact that they made it to main engine cutoff is a big pat on the back. That's huge, man. Yeah, that stage 1 looked perfect, Ian. It was perfect. Now, I did notice...
As you heard from our launch director, we did have an anomaly with stage 2 during flight. But maiden launches are always exciting, and today's flight was no exception. Although we didn't reach orbit, we significantly exceeded our key objectives for this first launch, and that objective was to gather data at Max Q, one of the most demanding phases of flight, and achieve stage separation. Today's flight data will be invaluable to our team as we look to further improve our rockets,
That's awesome,
including
Psycho.
Terran R.
Nice.
Our team will now carefully analyze this data to determine what led to this outcome. So stay tuned to @RelativitySpace on Twitter and relativityspace.com for additional updates in the days and weeks ahead.
I want to thank the entire Relativity team
awesome.
for
You
all
see
of
that
their
rocket
hard
go?
work
It was
in
really
getting
cool.
us to this point. No one's ever attempted to launch a 3D printed rocket into orbit, and while we didn't make it all the way today, we gathered enough data to show that flying 3D printed rockets is possible.
As Arwo mentioned, we will apply
damn
the
impressive,
lessons
man.
learned today in our future vehicle, Terran R. What we are doing has never
Adrian.
been done before, but it is undoubtedly
was,
a
Jimmy.
worthwhile endeavor that will transform the
I
aerospace
don't know,
industry
Tessa, we didn't see
forever.
staging.
And with that, we will conclude our coverage for
All right.
tonight.
Nope. I'm going to watch that again. I'm going to watch it again. Screw that. Screw that. Let's watch it one more time. So, fellas, a couple of things here real quick. I did notice Max Q was behind schedule by 4 seconds. Now, that's not that big of a deal, just something to note. Staging seemed to be pretty much on time. The staging was exact. That was perfect. That engine shut off right at 2 minutes 40 seconds. Second stage ignition was right at 2 minutes 51, which is actually it's pretty friggin' good, man. That's pretty good for a first try. Really, that's really good. Oh, that's so cool. So this is a replay, dudes, but those flames coming out of the first stage look crisp. That was nice. Very nice.
Switchover maneuver starting.
Most likely Aqualex. Miko was right there. Perfect. Dude.
Look at that blue fire!
Yeah, headphone users, at max Q, at 1 minute 24, it gets a little loud. I'm keeping the volume low. Dude, look at that, man. Yeah, Tessa, for the third time, I don't know. We really didn't see staging. I'd have to go look at it again.
If you
That's why
can
I'm
hear me
replaying it.
over the cheering, the vehicle is now headed downrange in an easterly
Oh,
direction
that's
over
pretty.
the Atlantic
Look at that.
Ocean. Our next ascent milestone is max Q around 80 seconds.
Terran 1 is supersonic.
That's very
Why don't you switch
cool.
over to the
Really
gas
proud of Relativity for what it's worth. This is impressive, man. That's impressive for a first try. Whitney, rating me 2 times in one stream.
Max Q.
We are on our way to making a new history. Terran came ready to play today. You just heard that call out indicating
onboard,
Terran 1
guys.
just
Look
made
at
it
that.
through. Max Q. We just completed a major step in proving to the world that 3D printed rockets are structurally
For
viable.
sure, Bobby. Oh, that's amazing, man. That's pretty damn impressive, dude. Picks coming in, cool.
Up next, we'll be looking
Whitney,
for a
thank you for
call
the
out
raid.
that stage 1
What'd you think?
performance is
Pretty
nominal.
good, right? Ullage, U-L-L-A-G-E is what it's called. I don't know. Probably them, Tessa. All right, this is the part I want to see here. The launch was great, Whitney. It was really nice. Thank you for the raid. 2 times in one stream. I really appreciate it. Look at the onboard. But yeah, there's no bandwidth here because they're downlinking all the telemetry. But damn, dude, what a shot. There's Miko, right on time.
As you can see, we were waiting for Miko and upper stage ignition. This means that we had a main engine cutoff for stage 1, and directly following that, we had second stage ignition, which you can see the Aeon vacuum engine in that beautiful view in the night sky. Reminder, there is no fairing for this maiden launch as we don't have a customer payload, but we do instead have a memento of the first ever circular test print.
Hard start condition. Yeah. Telemetry never indicated velocity increase after MECO. Yeah, it's a hard start. It didn't make any thrust. Is the TVC on this rocket electric? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it sputters. So, a hard start scenarios happen. I mean, Tessa, you said it could be gas in the lines. Could be anything. That could be 1,000 different things. Could be bad chamber pressure. Not bad chamber pressure. Bad tank ullage pressure could do it. Propellants aren't fully settled. Basically, like I said, air starting a rocket is a pain in the butt because when you think about it, a fuel tank's just full of liquid, right? So what happens when you stop the first stage and then you push it away, right? You push it away, all your propellant wants to go forward. So you have to settle all the propellants at the bottom because that's where the siphons for the rocket engine are, right? So getting the propellants to settle like that's why staging is really difficult. And once you got your propellant settled, now you have to light the engine. So it looked like hard start scenarios happen when your propellant isn't settled. Basically, the engine ingests gas and it starts choking. Because, now why? Why would that happen? Well, it's a liquid fuel rocket engine. It's a liquid fuel LNG rocket engine. It's not a gaseous oxygen engine. It's not a gaseous natural gas engine. You put anything into the rocket engine but liquid fuel or liquid natural gas and liquid oxygen, it's not going to work right. It'll start coughing. And it'll basically do the equivalent of like a carburetor backfire, which is basically what we saw there. Would you be able to tell us how things could have went wrong in each stage? What could it have looked like? I mean, I could tell you a bunch of different things. I don't know the rocket very well. I know ascent and I know physics. Normally, every result would at every different point at any time when the rocket could go wrong, it would result in an explosion, most likely. Yeah, a big explosion. So hot staging would be better. You could, Shimon. Thanks. So it was definitely a hard start. That was definitely a hard start case right there. If the thing looks like it's sputtering, it's basically backfiring, which means you're not getting chamber pressure, which means the impellers aren't moving liquid into the engine. So it looks like it's spooling up there, right? So you see the color of that flame, guys? Now, don't get me wrong, it's a second stage engine. Second stage flames look a little bit different. They propagate differently because of the ambient pressure. The pressure up there is different. You're up in the vacuum at this point, right? You're 87 kilometers up. There's not a lot of pressure up there. But I am looking at the color of that flame. Color of that flame is really bright. Yellow. So you saw the first stage, okay? First stage, what color were the flames coming out of that? They were blue. Is blue brighter? Or blue hotter? Blue flame is hotter. This is a methane rocket or a liquefied natural gas rocket, right? So that right there tells me that they're running fuel rich. Okay? All right? Because the flame isn't burning as hot as it did on the first stage engine. So if they're running fuel rich, you could have had bubbles in the oxidizer line. See the color of that flame? It should be blue. The flames coming out of it should be blue because it's a methane rocket, right? Because methane burns blue. But we didn't see that here. It's not getting hot enough. Which means your oxidizer deprived because it's running fuel rich. Now, once again, I'm an armchair rocket scientist. I don't know for sure. That's just a guess. You wouldn't be able to really tell that too well from a hard start. But if they're it's basically flooding the engine. You're basically doing the equivalent of flooding it. You put your pedal to the floor, right? It's flooding out. And then, now, the reason why I say it's running super fuel rich is because in a second here, you see a backfire come out of the rocket engine. It backfires like a carburetor. See? So, like I said, if I had to guess, I would guess LOX feed line. Just a guess. Something is wrong with the LOX delivery. They didn't get enough oxidizer in there to get a nice stable ignition. And that can also create a hard start scenario. Hard start scenarios are basically It's like starting a car with the ignition timing wrong. You're gonna get it. It'll backfire. Bum 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 bum, and it'll detonate. You'll basically get the rocket equivalent of rod knock. If you're a car guy or a car girl, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's rod knocking that engine. That's the rocket equivalent. That's what a hard start is. You don't want to do that. So, second stage didn't light, Murdoch. I was watching it, and then I looked at the telemetry, dude. Whenever I watch these test flights, dudes, I'm watching the timings, and I'm watching these numbers. But hey, I'm not trying to talk any smack about relativity. This is damn impressive. It looks like the stage 2 LOX delivery wasn't good if I had to guess, but the first stage doing its thing really made up for that, man. Look at that. It's beautiful. What does that mean for people that don't know cars? Rod knock basically means you're starting to break things, Historia. You asked another engineer? So Historia, a rod knock on a car or a hard start on a rocket means that you're getting detonation inside of the combustion chamber. It could be what a car does and what a rocket engine does is not that far off. They do the same thing. The only thing is that a car uses that explosion to push a piston down, right? A rocket uses that explosion to push the entire vehicle up, right? Pretty straightforward. Rod knocking with a car is when you deliver fuel in the improper, you deliver fuel and air in the improper quantity, and you can get a detonation. Okay. Now with a car, a detonation happens when you don't ignite the flames at the right time, and so it can detonate, and it detonates against the piston when the piston is still going up, and that's not good for it. The piston is basically going this way, and a detonation is pushing it that way. So there's a piece on a piston in a car attached to the piston that attaches the piston to the crankshaft. It's called a rod, a connecting rod. Rod knock happens when that detonation hits the top of the piston before it gets to the highest point of travel, or top dead center. And this kills the rod. Yeah, it'll basically pulse the piston while it still has a lot of forward momentum, and it'll snap a rod in half. Yeah, physics, man. Now, rod knock with a rocket motor basically does the same thing. You're going to get an improper fuel delivery, and in the improper fuel delivery, you're going to get a detonation inside of the combustion chamber. Now, a detonation inside of a rocket's combustion chamber is a little bit different because the detonation wave could just shoot out the Venturi. It could just shoot out the rocket motor, so it's not that big of a deal. But if that detonation wave goes back, if the detonation wave goes forward, like so, the rocket engine's facing this way. If the det wave goes forward, you could literally blow the rocket engine to smithereens. A detonation wave hitting the top of the injector plate can blow the injector plate clean off. Like if you overpressurize a steam locomotive, it just right? So those hard starts, the detonations seem to be going out the bottom of the rocket engine, which still means you're delivering fuel, right? But yeah, it was definitely detonating. That's not good for it. So a detonation wave going with the direction of flames on a rocket engine can do a bunch of different things. You could crack the combustion chamber. You could crack the throat. It could break the nozzle. Like, there's a lot of fragile components on that thing, believe it or not, considering it's an explosion factory, right? Oh my gosh, they still have a shot of the rocket plume going up on the stream, okay? Yeah. So, Ford, you linked this. You asked a rocket engineer. Okay. Let's see. If a methane oxygen mix... That's ChatGPT. You bozo. If a methane oxygen mixture is burning with a red flame, it is likely that there's an excess of methane in the mixture. The ideal methane oxygen mixture should burn with a blue flame, indicating complete combustion. When the methane concentration is too high, the flame will turn yellow or red due to incomplete combustion, which results in the formation of carbon particles that emit the red or yellow color when they get heated. To correct this, you should adjust the mixture by increasing the oxygen supply or decreasing the methane supply. Hey, your boy's better than ChatGPT, huh? Not bad. Thanks, GPT. Very cool. Thanks, Forge. Thanks for that. Yeah, it locks delivery. But see, here's the thing, guys. You can tell a lot about what a rocket's doing by looking at the flames. That's really literally looking at the flames coming out of the rocket motor will tell you everything you need to know. But the thing is, if they're telling you something bad, trying to trace that component can get very, very complicated very quick. Rockets have a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of parts on that thing. But I can tell you right now, just by looking at this picture, that all 9 of those engines are very, very healthy. See how crisp the flames coming out of that thing is? They're very crisp. It's a very defined flame. Very healthy rocket engine. Yeah, it's already in the ocean, Shadow, but yes. Look at what Salute linked. Yeah, guys, that's good. Repost, listen to the sound. Repost, listen to the sound. Okay.
It is Wednesday, March of Relativity. It's Terran 1, 3D printed rocket.
Nice. Very nice. Nice noise. Anyway, let's see this again here. Let's take a look at it one more time and see what we can see. I know it's on good. Yeah. Yeah, it went, Hibbit, but second stage didn't do. Slow-mo. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, there's a little bit of imparted force on the vehicle. There's some residual propellants that started to turn the vehicle. That could have been, guys, right there. That could have been why. That could have been why they didn't get good staging. It's possible. If you look, you could see the lights in Florida back there. So you have some reference for the ground here, right? So when the camera sees main engine cutoff, you could see that there is some rotational rates there. Did you see the lights started to move? So if the rocket's doing this and you go to stage, you could stage it and the imparted force could settle your propellants not on the pickups. It's possible. Now, why would there be imparted force there? When you shut down a rocket engine, there's residual propellant in the lines. And the rocket engine is really hot. So when you shut the tap off, right, there's still some propellant in there that find their way into the combustion chamber. Sometimes that can detonate inside the combustion chamber and turn the entire vehicle. That does happen. It's probably... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's all screwed up. Or they didn't all shut off at the same time. Yeah. But see, so, guys, see how that engine is pulsing? It's not continuous. It's going... Detonations. They're getting detonations in there. Like, you could see it very much so a second ago here. Is that RDE resonance? It's not a rotating detonation engine firework. Yeah, it's possible. Hey, Middle Ditch, thanks for the raid. Oh my goodness. You guys are coming in here. Oh man, we're trying to figure out what went wrong with a rocket flight that just happened. Oh, geez. That's a huge raid. Well, I tell you, we're trying to figure out why that dang old rocket just went all haywire, you know. Tommy Mids is here, the Tommy Mids raid. How you doing? What's going on? I could tell you that dang rocket engine just didn't fire. I've been watching too much Scrump. That's not good. And he's gone full Scrump. Doing good. I'm so white, but have a great stream. All right, man. Thanks for the raid, dude. Go do your thing, okay? You little rat. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I'm a rat. I need a snack, you know. I was like, wait, what? You know? Middle just busted out a 7.5-hour stream? Dude, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. So we were just watching Relativity Space. Relativity Space is a company that's trying to make 3D printed rockets, dudes. And they just attempted to launch their rocket into orbit, and the second stage, well, when they staged it and they tried to fire the second engine here. See that? That's not good for it. He's what you call a poggers Twitch streamer. So the second stage didn't fire, and it now it's a fish's house. So that's good. Yeah, it's second stage int. Dang, launch vehicle done made a mess all over me. Oh boy. I've been watching. You know you've been watching too much Scrump when that happens. You know. Oh boy. Could they not restart the engine? Well, Smartish, the rocket is being controlled by basically a launch program. It's called a sequencer. That's the nerdy way of saying it. They have a proprietary bit of code that runs the thing for you, and so you could. I mean, if you incorporated that into your UI, I suppose you could command a manual restart. But look, they tried to fire it, and the auto sequencer, the computer shut it down for a reason. It looks like the motor's detonating here. See the non-uniform, see how the flames aren't very uniform? Rocket engine, the flames coming out of a rocket engine should be the shape of the cone. And you get very non-uniform flames here, which means something's wrong with it. Something's broken. NASA's really cool. Yeah, guys. If you don't know me, I'm not a GTA RPer, but I do appreciate the Middle Ditch streamers coming in, or Middle Ditch raiders coming in here. Middle Ditch is a RDR RP streamer, and a damn good one at that. But yeah, guys, if you don't know me, I do raid Middle Ditch from time to time, like almost every day, because I love watching Scrump. Seriously, it's me and my fiance watch it whenever we can. Not even kidding. But what I do over here is I teach people about rockets. I'm a STEM streamer, so you know I don't do any RP, but I do RP and engineer on here. It's like Doogie Howser, but with rockets, you know? That's what we do here. Did I miss it? Yep. I say this every day, but we got to dedicate like 2 hours so you can watch what happened with Ogle today. Yeah, I'm RPing an engineer. I'm not an engineer by trade. I'm self-taught when it comes to it, which is why I say I play an engineer on Twitch.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Shadow Cypher. Welcome to Mission Control. You're going throttle up. Do you play KSP? Chancellor, I have been playing KSP pretty much every day since KSP 2 came out. I have 15,000 hours in KSP 1. So yeah, I play KSP. That's my main game. That's what I used to teach. But we also cover rocket launches in here as well. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. First rate Twitch and ear. I'll take that. That's fine. Yeah, I have 15,000 hours in KSP. I played Kerbal 1 pretty much every day from September of 2015 to like October of 2022. Pretty much every day. Yeah, I like Kerbal. I like rockets. Rockets are my thing, man. I'd love to see you do a Dr. Farnsworth impression on GTA RP. No, we'd have to use Diamondium. Love the Galaga. Yeah, that guy is playing Galaga. He thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Shadow Cypher, gifted us up to Chando Calrissian. Oh, man, we got all the Middle Ditch regulars in here. Thank you. I've heard you say 15,000 hours for like 3 years now. Upgrade to 20K. I don't want to sound too crazy. Hey, Flo, what's going on? Just tuning in. What'd you miss? Well, good news and bad news from Relativity. The good news, here, I will show you the good news. I'll show the business right here. Look at this. Watch this, Flo. This is pretty nifty right here. Skyhook, 38 months. Oh! Oh, I like that. That's nice. Can I turn it up, headphone users?
Terran 1 has cleared the tower.
Oh, you're kidding. All right, cool. I got you, man. I got you. You see the second stage, though? Yeah. She was detonating. Second stage was coughing. That damn old rocket engine won't fire. See that? Non-uniform. That's no good. That's no good. Yep. You're already working on the article? Nice. Oh, Dad, I'll tell you what, boy. That damn stage ain't right. Should have been clean burning propane. Oh, nice, Kyle. Right on. Here. All right. So for the middle ditch raiders, you guys will appreciate this. Oh, I tell you, I can do an impression of a certain lobster from the future. Oh, Professor, I'm so into you. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's my favorite impression. People say do impressions of all these different people. Well, why not Zoidberg? Billy West is my hero, man. Good news, everyone. It's a suppository. I can't swallow that, Professor. But yeah, ooh, see that flash? Yeah, detonation. No good. No good. Relativity didn't have their second stage work really well, but they were, that was a stretch goal. If they got to staging, that was a good test. That's good for a first attempt. So I do congratulate them. That's really awesome. Why is it when I watch you I get multiple recommendations for Hearts of Iron? Because Hearts of Iron's dope, dude. At launch, the first stage looked so strange and not blue. Why did this happen and could have affected the second stage? Smartish, I noticed that the call for max Q was not on time. So there may have been something with the first stage, but we didn't see any onboard, so I couldn't really give you an answer. But it's possible. Max Q wasn't on time. And, dude, here's the thing. You don't miss max Q by 4 seconds. The timing on the rocket has to be perfect.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not going to get it down to the millisecond, right? But 4 seconds off for your call for max Q is a little... But then again, the guy could have called it late as well. But yeah, different flames coming out of the engines could have indicated throttle. It could indicate throttle up, throttle down. It's possible. But guys, like getting the rocket engine, getting the chamber pressure right, and getting the mixtures right, especially with multiple engines, that's really difficult, really hard to do. That's like trying to take like 4 sprinklers and getting them to be in perfect synchronization. That's really difficult. It's really hard to get that right. Ballistic Gaming, hey, thanks, man. Thank you for the resub. What's max Q? Max Q is maximum dynamic pressure. Maximum dynamic pressure occurs when a rocket's flying up into the atmosphere. And basically, what Q is an indicator for, dynamic pressure, so shifting pressure on the rocket. So when the rocket's flying up, technically it's still, well, not technically, it is still in part of the atmosphere. The dynamic pressure point is basically where pressure starts building up on the front of the vehicle and starts to introduce a compression load into the rocket. Now, why? Why? Okay. So, what do you mean? So, at a certain point, guys, you can't move the air out of the way fast enough. Air will start to get compressed right up on the front of the vehicle, and when it gets compressed, it'll start to ionize, and that'll introduce heating because you're splitting atoms. The rocket's going so fast, it's literally ripping air molecules apart when it goes by. That's pretty metal. I don't know about you. But basically that compression force from the air that gets compressed up against the nozzle, or up against the nose cone, will basically try to accordion the rocket. Now, there's only so much load that the rocket can take. So you don't want to exceed whatever you're engineered for your dynamic pressure. You don't want to exceed Q, right? But the interesting thing is that if that call for dynamic pressure was right with this rocket, it was 4 seconds late. 4 seconds is way off. That's way off timing. Not good. Like, it's not too bad, but the dynamic pressure call should be within the second of when the timing was for it. Now, the timing for it was supposed to be at 80 seconds. It was at 84 seconds. That's a long way off, indicating that the rocket may not have accelerated fast enough, which would explain the different color flames on the way up. We don't know. I mean, the first stage did have the engine cut off at the right time. Now, if you have a throttleable engine, right? The engine, they could push the engine. They could basically put the pedal to the metal. The auto sequencer could, to compensate for the weird trajectory from the engines not working previously before, which would explain why the maximum dynamic pressure call was 4 seconds late. But once again, here's the thing about rocket science. It ain't what you know. It's what you can prove. It ain't what you know, Jake. It's what you can prove. You know, I'm surgical with this thing, Jake. Sorry. So, if you don't have the numbers, if we don't have the numbers, we don't know anything. Nothing is conclusive. I can tell you some things about what that second stage did. I can tell you some things about what the first stage did, but I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I'm frankly probably never going to have the numbers in front of me because I don't work for relativity. You know what I mean? So, who knows? Wait, I can watch Twitch and become smarter? Yeah, I know, Sway. It's weird. I'm a STEM streamer. I teach people about things. Think like old school Discovery Channel. You know what I mean? Remember that show like Modern Marvels and stuff? Like that type of programming, not like Swamp People and Pawn Stars and stuff, even though kind of good shows, I guess. But that's what I try to do on the stream. Like, dude, you watch the Discovery Channel back in the day. You know, you see stuff on like gigantic steam shovels. Am I ever going to work in a mine? No, but the steam shovel is freaking cool, right? Right? How it's made? Oh, God, I love that show. That's what I'm trying to do here. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make anybody a rocket scientist. I mean, maybe. Who knows? But also, it's really cool to learn about rockets. Rockets are pretty dope. Discovery before the MTV maneuver. That's what we're calling that from now on. Yeah, that's what I try to do here, guys. That's what I'm all about. Yep. Mythbusters 2. Yeah. Rip Grant. Absolutely. So when do you degrade into telling us aliens caused everything? I'm not saying it was aliens. But it was aliens. Now, some people even ask, is such a thing even possible? Well, yes, it is. No, it's not. It wasn't aliens. I mean, it may have been. Not saying it was aliens. But it was aliens. I would be shocked if the first stage performed perfectly, to be honest. Yeah. Slizak. I can't say your name. Sorry, it's too late. My bad, man. But yeah, I would... Nothing is ever going to go exactly right. It was good enough. Staging was on time. I'm wondering, you know, we need to know their target staging velocity, too. That would be important to know, but they're never going to give us that information, man. I was hooked on how it's made type of shows ever since they showed how crayons were made on Sesame Street as a kid. Hell yeah. I gotta ask about the beautiful truck I just caught a glance of. What year? How far from done? Oh, the 59. It's a 59 F100. It's closer to being done than not. I gotta finish it. I'm going to bed. When you get in here, there's a roast under tinfoil on the counter. Oh, God. Core Stage 2 does look good. But yeah. All right, dudes. So that's Relativity. Hey, tip my cap to them. That's an excellent job. Job well done. Nothing to hang your head about. Staging is one of the most difficult parts, and you can be dang sure they'll hit it out of the park next time. So, yeah, okay, Farm. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. So... I love Clark bars. I've seen them on Hounds, but yeah, dudes, Hounds made is sick. So, guys, I was actually packing it in, man. Middle Ditch did 7.5 hours. I'm at 12 right now. I've been sitting here for 12 hours. So, let's pay it forward. I mean, Middle Ditch rated us, so how about we go see what Mr. DeCenzo is up to? Huh? How about we go see what Mr. DeCenzo is up to? Capiche? Want to see what he's up to? Do you know what's the best college to go for aerospace engineering? Anyone that has one. We can go. We can go see what Mr. DeCenzo is up to. Come on. Andiamo, let's go. So, I'm going to rate another not GTA, RDRRP server. Guy plays on the same server as Middle Ditch. It's good stuff. Dude, this guy... The people that are on Wild RP are pretty frigging talented. This is great. This is great. A great stream to wind down to. So, let's go give Zetark a raid. Let's go see what Mr. DeCenzo is up to. Shall we? The guy, he's a pretty made man. Let's go see what he's doing. We're gonna go give him a raid over there. You understand? You capiche? You come here on my stream on the day of our stream raid, asking me for favors. You broke my heart. Broke my heart. I know it was you, chat. I know it was you. You broke my heart. Anyway, I know it's bad, but I made you laugh. So let's go see what Zetark's up to, and we'll see what's going on. What do you think about the 24-hour call-up for Firefly's next mission? I think that's pretty hardcore. SLS is okay. That's your name. Yeah, I think it's pretty hardcore, man. I'm rooting for Firefly. I like those guys. They're pretty cool. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will be back in about 12 hours. Yeah, in about 12 hours. I'll see you guys at noontime tomorrow. We'll try to finish the Duna challenge in KSP if the game cooperates. So let's go see what Zetark's up to. Drop some panels over there. EJ panels over there. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night. And Middle Ditch, thank you for the raid. I love you. I'm just a rat. I need a little raid snack thing. All right, this is weird now. I'm leaving.